Hello. Good evening, chat. How are we doing? You want to say hi?
What up, everybody? It's me, Nova's former friend.
hmm There you go. Okay. So, man, you have quite a few stories to tell, I bet.
I do. We've talked about quite a bit of them. A lot of you guys have heard the
Yeah.
phone call already.
Yeah, dude, that was something, I'll tell you what.
I've read a lot of your comments on the live post yesterday, so we could address them
Mm-hmm.
quickly.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you want to be like, or anything you want to address right now before we get into the
Yeah.
questions?
So I guess I've the comments I was reading. There's like a lot of valid um,
Mm-hmm.
concerns because Sam Hyde shirt hanging out with the lolcow, not a great look. Definitely some assumptions are going to be made there.
To say the least.
Um, but I think it will be clear if if you watch the live that I wasn't just somebody trying to like fuck him over or,
Mm-hmm.
manipulate him. Like I was talking and hanging out with him for like 8 months.
Sorry to
And,
hear
you'll
that.
see in the text that, I really, I just wanted, somebody who looks like Nova, acts like Nova to not look and act like Nova.
Mm-hmm.
I always kind of thought Nova was a little different because I don't know, like many of you, lolcows are just kind of like an enigma to me. It's like, how does a person like this get created? I want to learn everything about them.
Mm-hmm.
But Nova's a little different because, at least in my opinion, or at least what used to be my opinion, I thought he was just like this sad dude who just like got a bad draw in life. And really, what attracted me to him is like, I think I started watching him during all the like the workout stuff. And so it's like,
Uh-huh.
whoa, here's this like guy who's like actually trying. He's like acknowledging how messed up his life is. Like, I want to help that guy. And I wasn't living in the state at the time, so once I moved
Mm-hmm.
back to Idaho, that was when I started contacting him, and that was like in June or July.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Um, but yeah, Nova also knows who Sam Hyde is, so he wasn't like it wasn't like some secret like that I'm
Mm-hmm.
like some alt internet guy or anything like that.
Let's see.
What other
Who
comments?
is Sam Hyde? Am I chopped
Sam
for not
Hyde
knowing
is
that?
he's like this dark comedian who's been kind of prevalent online for like the last 10, 15 years, but he has kind of a bad rap because of a lot of the things you've said are pretty objectively offensive.
I see. I see. Oh, that's why people were kind of okay. No, I get that.
So Sam Hyde also he does a show now called Fish Tank, which Nova told me he got invited on Fish Tank,
Uh-huh.
um, but he told me he didn't want to join it. So he definitely knew
Yeah.
who Sam Hyde was. He was like somewhat comfortable talking about him and potentially interacting with him, but
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember him talking about it on stream. I didn't think he was like dead serious, but
I mean, maybe he could have been getting trolled. I don't know, but
probably that's kind of a
in
common
my opinion,
occurrence.
super missed opportunity for him. I think I think is like good way to look at Nova's entire life is like missed opportunity after missed opportunity.
Oh yeah, that's Nova in a nutshell. There's probably some other adjectives you can use for him. But is there
Yeah.
anything you want to address now before we get into the questions and all that?
Yeah. There were some other comments talking about like like why like how embarrassing it would be to tell people you're friends with Nova. So that makes sense under like if you think of it as like a normal friendship. But I think a better way to describe our relationship is like how well can an adult be friends with like a 13-year-old? Like an adult
Whoa.
can like value a 13-year-old and can like
Mm-hmm.
want the best for a 13-year-old, but can you actually have like a adult friend connection with like somebody who's in that headspace? And I think the answer most people will determine is like no. Like you can't really get a symbiotic friendship with people who are like at that drastically of different places in their life. So though I like would call Nova a friend, like
Mm-hmm.
he did not give me the things you'd expect from like any of my other adult friends. Like it was more of like me trying to help him over anything. Like if Nova was a super healthy person who just happened to be kind of weird, like I don't think we would be friends. But
It's because of his personality.
yeah, I mean I mean pretty much just all of it.
Yeah, there's probably some other reasons for that. And no, I definitely get it. It's he's kind of not, as you said, mental space is not all there, especially from an adult, 21 years old. He does kind of. Do you think has like the mind of a teenager? I'm not talking about his age regression.
So it's that's what's interesting because it's obvious that he understands like what's good and what's bad because he calls out his own behavior all the time. Like he's constantly talking about like, oh, I'm a fat ass, like, oh, I need to clean, oh, I need to do this, like, oh, talking to kids is bad. But then in the same breath, he, you know, does all of those things. So it's
Hmm.
like, I think it's either, maybe he is just like in this unfortunate headspace where like, I don't know, he has this like polarization to his behavior versus his thoughts, or maybe he just is like a manipulative person who intentionally is lying to, creates this false identity that he wants to project.
Hmm. That is a It's a good observation. I mean, you know him much better than I do. But with all that being said, I think it's time to get started. First question I want to ask is, how'd you meet Nova?
So yeah, like I said, I had seen his videos, I think for like a year and a half, and it like made me legit sad. So I had emailed him a few times because his email is like, or at least it was like stapled to his TikTok.
Oh, it still is.
And he never responded to any of those.
Mm-hmm.
On This is a little sad. I don't take any pride in this, but on Cameo you can like send a message for $1. So after like 2 months of waiting to him reply to like the one or two emails I sent, I was like, I'll just message him on Cameo. Never got back to me. Never gave me back that dollar either. So
Oh, I bet.
so then eventually when I moved back, I was like, fuck it. After like a
New
month or
tip
two, I
from
was like, I'm
Spooky
just gonna
Cake.
like I've seen his fucking address posted on TikTok comments so many times. Like, I'm just gonna go drop off like a letter. If he responds, he responds. If not, whatever. And his response to that was to immediately uh, make a video on the letter, and I don't necessarily agree with that video. I think it was a poor decision. I don't want to give too many details about it because of the poor decisions in it. But
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, we just started talking, and after like a week or two, or maybe like a month,
Mm-hmm.
I think I wanted to like open up the like prove that I was actually trying to help him. So I like saw that his lawn was like totally overgrown, like 4 feet tall in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hey man, like I can help you with that. Like your lawn's not large. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is what friends do. Like let me help you with this thing that's obviously a daunting task. So that was
Uh-huh.
really like the intro to us actually being like in-person friends.
I see. Okay, that's certainly interesting. If you could go back, would you stop yourself from ever trying to be friends with Nova?
No, no, I'd probably do it all the same way. Just because I think the experience, well, maybe I'm projecting a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that an experience of having like an adult, legitimate, like healthy friend is important. Like, because
Mm-hmm.
now for everything else he does in the future, like he won't have the excuse of like, oh, I had no one to help me. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, you did, dude. Like you had me. I was there for almost a year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
trying to give you advice whenever you needed it or would ask for it. Like trying to
Mm-hmm.
help you with like random little shit, like taking you to the store, like helping
Oh,
you with your lawn twice, like
wow.
taking him out on little excursions just to make sure he gets out of the house. I think we went to the arcade like 4 or 5 times. So yeah, I'd do it all again just because I don't like otherwise he would just be able to say like, "Oh, I've never had someone to like help me or guide me,"
Mm-hmm.
which is just a lie.
That is true, and he does use that excuse still, from what I've seen. Well, he uses a plethora of them, but that is interesting. I never even really thought of that. Well, thank you, Spooky Cake, by the way, for the five. And what like when you first interacted with him? What was your like impression seeing Nova online in the flesh, in the rotten flesh?
It actually surprised me a little bit, um, just because he's a very bubbly person online. Like he's always, and not even just online. Like when I would take him to the arcade a few times,
Mm-hmm.
it was like it's very interesting how his mind operates. Like I met him the first time, he wouldn't even look at me. Like he wouldn't even look me in the eyes, and I was like helping him with his lawn. And I'm not like a passive person. I address stuff like that. So within like the first 5 minutes, I was like, why aren't you making eye contact with me? Like, why are you looking at the ground?
Mm-hmm.
And he told me like, oh, I'm really nervous. I don't like hang out with people that much. And I was like, oh, okay. But then like later we go to like the arcade like a couple weeks later, and I'm having to tell him to like stop screaming because he got like the bonus on the coin machine or something. So it's like this weird dichotomy of like super nervous but also like totally unaware of how he's projecting his presence. I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
that extends to his hygiene, obviously. Like, I don't know how many of the people watching now like heard the phone call from the stream a while ago, but like his hygiene was like a consistent problem, and so it's just very strange to me where you're like this person who scared to look somebody in the eyes, but you're comfortable with like having a scent that is, smellable from like 5 feet away. It's like
Jeez.
really strange.
Was it really that bad?
Yeah, and I'm a big honesty guy. I don't like exaggeration just because I think it takes away from like, people who are actually just trying to understand,
Mm-hmm.
something or someone. So I'm not exaggerating when I say you can smell him from like 5 feet away.
Oh my goodness. My God. This is a bit of a scary
And
question.
I'm also gonna
Sorry.
say that like I'm not saying this because like, oh fuck this guy. I'm saying it because like this was something I talked to him about for
Uh-huh.
months. Like like if it was something that he fixed, I'd probably be giving him praise right now. Where like oh he's this was like a big problem before, but he like we made it through.
Just
But
giving
like
him
no,
props.
he like I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, hey dude, you're inconveniencing like yourself, everyone around you in public, and you're doing literally nothing about it, even though like me and like my other few friends who hung out with him a few times are all saying like, dude, this is not good. Like this isn't
Mm-hmm.
healthy. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So
And
that was my first impression. Just like interested how like he can be so loud and maybe obnoxious is a unkind word to use, but I think it's also correct.
yeah,
But while
no.
also being like super shy with real humans.
Interesting, interesting. What did he like smell like, if that's something you can describe?
So so it's not exactly cat pee, but it's like half cat pee, half ammonia, but like both of them cranked up, so it doesn't really smell like either. It's like its own thing, kind of.
Wow. Jesus. And when you guys went out in public, has anyone ever commented on it or maybe like shown a reaction like walking past?
No, uh, oh yeah. So there was one time I can't, I don't know for sure if that's what they were reacting from, but I was certain enough to make a comment to another person we were with. But
Hmm.
there was one time we were at an arcade and we were walking by someone and someone said, "Do you smell that?" So I'm pretty sure other people had noticed, but I can't be certain that they were talking about him. But I also don't know what else would
Hmm.
elicited that response. So I'm like 99% sure
Yeah,
people are smelling him.
I would I'd make that bet. And as for your friendship, if you could describe it in a nutshell, what would you say?
So yeah, it was basically, I don't know. I mean, if we look at the text later, you guys will all get a pretty good idea, but it was mostly me just trying to like help him out, be someone for him to talk to who's not going to be like gaslighting him or like intentionally manipulating him to make poor choices. Like really just someone who's going to give him to it straight, like actual adult advice, and someone who
Hmm.
will help him with stuff. But and he showed genuine kindness towards me, and there was a lot of moments where maybe not a lot. There was a few moments where he would remember like some stuff I was going through or some big things on my plate, and he would,
Uh-huh.
like a day before or a day after, be like, "Hey, how did this go?" So
Wow.
he seemed to have a genuine desire to be kind towards me, but at the same time, there'd be like weeks where he just like would not talk to me, or like weeks where he would ignore my messages. And then,
Hmm.
a trend of his is just like to not even address things like that. Like didn't talk for 3 weeks, ignored me for 3 weeks. Like here's a TikTok I saw.
Hmm. Wow. And how did that make you feel?
I mean, it didn't really make. I mean, it's a little frustrating, I guess, but also like I'm not like I understand who this guy is. Like these are all things I expected. So it's like I'm not, again, it's like if a toddler steals your wallet, are you going to be like, why would the toddler do this? It's just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that's a toddler. It's just doing stuff, like whatever. So it's like I wasn't personally hurt by it. I didn't really see it as that big of a slight. It was just like another thing to account for in a relationship, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So you think basically he's just so mentally not there that you should expect the kind of behavior he has?
So I think people should determine that on an individual level because, like I said, I'm kind of torn on how much of it is like ignorance and how much of it is just an intentional feigning of ignorance to like get away with a lot of stuff, especially with all the stuff that have came out the last few weeks. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you can't even explain it through the framework he presents. Like it doesn't make sense. So I mean, the longer stuff goes on, the more it seems like he's just intentionally omitting truths and manipulating people to be perceived the way he wants.
Mm-hmm. And when all that stuff came out, with the Discord servers, I think I was the one who broke the news to you. What was your kind of reaction to that?
I legit could not believe it.
Hmm.
Because again, like another thing, I'm like not okay, obviously, with like children being harmed or people harming themselves by like perpetuating like bad habits such as like looking at the stuff that was being posted in those servers.
Uh-huh.
So within like the first couple of weeks, like once it was apparent that like me and Gabriel were probably gonna have like somewhat of a long-term friendship, I asked him about all the like the binky stuff and the age regression stuff because it needed to be addressed, and he was very adamant immediately about how he looked down on that behavior, how it was like just something for him to, connect with other people, just like, like I'm
Hmm.
sure there are people who are furries just because they know like they'll just be accepted unanimously by the furry community if they, adopt that personality. So that's kind of how he explained that. He said he doesn't think it was healthy. He looks down on that. He like understands how it could be harmful to minors and how like he would never do that again. So when you
Hmm.
showed me all that stuff, it was just like, what, like, either this guy's like a complete idiot or he's just a liar. Like there's really no other way to look at it. So it was a little jarring. Again, it wasn't super like I'm aware that this was always a potential outcome,
Hmm.
but it was definitely not good. I did not feel good about that.
I bet, and I guess that was kind of the breaking point for you. Straw
Yeah,
that
I
broke the
mean,
camel's back.
as I say in the phone call, like at the end, it's like even if I was somehow could justify that behavior to remain friends with him, like I can't justify like associating with him. Like I
Hmm.
don't want to be like associated in any form with a person who has like all this legitimate evidence out about them. Like even if I could or wanted to be friends. So it really was like the decision was made for me to
I
not
see.
be a part of his life anymore.
No, I get that. I get that. And must have been a lot for you. Do you think he like cared at all
About what?
about you cutting off ties after all the Discord drama?
So that again it brings up the same like question for me. It's like because he posted that edgy like self-harm
Hmm.
post and then
Yeah,
what
right
like within
after.
12 hours it was like soda reviews or something. I don't feel like that's something a normal human could do. I don't think a normal human can go from like, oh, I'm gonna end it all to like, what does this soda taste like? So again, I think it's either, he's hardcore attempting to manipulate a large group of people, or his brain just functions like that. And I think that's just for every individual to decide, assuming
Hmm.
you can even make a decision. Things like that I just don't even think about just because like I'm never gonna know.
No, I get that. And do you think he has some kind of more underlying mental conditions? Because he does have autism, from what he says. Maybe like bipolar disorder, just because how drastically his mood swings around.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, what if he wasn't autistic? Like, what if, I could probably see someone who's not autistic, like leading the same life if they, just sat at home for, you know, the first 3 years of their adulthood after already having
Mm-hmm.
like a not super productive like public school experience. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like if you have someone who, they're not even engaging in like media that's helping them
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know how many times I talked to Nova. I'm like and I always made it a point to minimize the amount of advice I would give him on like TikTok or his YouTube streams, just because like I wanted it to be very clear that that was not why I was interacting with him. But I don't know how many times I told him like, hey man, like you doing like a 18-minute Fortnite stream like is not conducive to like anything good. Like
Mm-hmm.
who's logging in to watch you play Fortnite for 18 minutes? Like why are you only playing for 18 minutes? Like is that literally all you can handle before like you get bored? Like that's not good. So it's just like I don't know, maybe this is just the outcome of what happens when you just like sit at home and don't even like absorb media. Like the lowest like being on TikTok all day is like not good for you, but I think it's probably better than what he does on an average day.
Mm-hmm. And what was his reaction to that specifically? Just playing games for a few minutes? Because usually, from what I've seen, he just gets tired of the hate comments. Is that what he told you?
Yeah, that was effectively what it would tell me, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
again, my response to that would always be like, let them hate. Like, who cares? Like, they're watching you. Like, no matter what they say, like, they're tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, get over it. It's you have 300K followers, whatever. Like, you like, and again, I iterated so many times, like, how lucky he is to like be born into a person who, like, for whatever reason, is like extremely captivating to a large group of people. Like how well he could monetize that. Like he could save his mom and his himself today if he just started like making smart like business and financial decisions. He just doesn't actually care.
Mm-hmm. I know you tell him all the time what he can do and the path forward for a decent life for him and his mom. What does he say in response to that? What excuses does he give?
So usually his excuses would be given in the frame of like it's not that it's an excuse, it's just that I haven't taken the action yet. But the action is going to be taken. Like that is usually how he was framed it. So it's like, yeah, I'm like eating unhealthy now, but like all I need to do is start dieting. Or like, yeah, like I'm not very strong now and my like I can't really move properly some days, but like be working out in the future. Or like his driving, like he doesn't have a license. That was something I would hit on a lot just because like you can't you can't really be a functioning adult in this area without a driver's license, and especially with him always talking about like wanting to DoorDash for an income.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why aren't you taking your driver's test? Like you could get a permit like same day. Like what's going on? And his response would always be like, "Oh yeah, I just need to study." And it's like, how many months are you gonna give that excuse? Like just at what point do you just accept that there's something else happening and you just don't want to do it? So
Mm-hmm.
that was usually where the conversations would end. He would like make some excuse while like giving himself the satisfaction by believing like, oh, I will actually do this, and then like he'd forget about it, or maybe he wouldn't forget and he just didn't care.
Has he ever taken genuine steps towards what you're kind of talking about? And I don't mean like showering, recording himself showering for a TikTok series for like 2 weeks, or doing a house cleaning saga where he throws away a few things of trash. Has he ever like genuinely made that step forward to better himself or his life at all?
I mean, I would argue the shower stuff was a big step,
Mm.
and I think many people would agree. I think going from being visibly dirty in like every video to like showering most like for almost a week straight, like that is a large step relatively.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but besides that, that when during the summer when I was like helping him with his lawn, he showed like a small amount of motivation to like do things on his own. Like I remember suggesting like, "Hey man, these weeds are so long. Like I don't even think you can get them with a mower." Like I said, like if I were you, I'd probably just buy a scythe just because it'd probably be less total effort to just like cut it all down first. And he did do that. He did buy a scythe.
He bought a scythe.
He bought a scythe. He
Wow.
did do that. But
Okay.
besides that, like, and again, if we show the text, you'll see like
Mm-hmm.
I comment on his inability or his lack of desire to like fix any of these issues by himself. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess in a small way the answer is yes, but for the majority of our interactions, no, he didn't really. And again, in that phone call, I call him out. I say like, dude, you're in a worse spot now than you were when I met you. And like to hear that coming from a person whose like whole point of starting the relationship was to like have the opposite happen, like it's not. I don't see it as very good.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I do. And back to that shower stuff. If I'm not mistaken, you were kind of the one who encouraged it or gave him that idea. If you want to tell us more
Yeah, that
about that.
was so I had been hounding him on his hygiene for like I mean basically our whole relationship, but I was really hounding on it for like the a couple of weeks prior to that the shower saga starting. And that was due to the fact that we started like I think it was just we hung out with him like 2 or 3 times within like a month, which was like the most dense like amount of little outings we had. And we had to start telling him like, dude, we're not gonna let you in our cars anymore if you like aren't washing your clothes and you aren't bathed. Like we can tell when you don't. Like we can tell instantly. So I think that is what kind of made me want to start hounding on him more. And but what really changed there was one day where I think he posted something where he was just like really gross. Like it was very, I think it was like hair was standing up in the back real bad, or I can't recall exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up calling him and like right when I woke up, and he picked up and we talked for like an hour, and I was like, I basically just said like, dude, everyone in the comments of this video is saying like you're gross, like you're greasy, like your house is a mess, and I'm like, you say any of those comments are even wrong? Like, I understand you read them and you don't like them, but like you need to actually internalize like why are they saying these things, and then like look at yourself and your surroundings, and you'll probably come to the conclusion like, oh, all these people are right. And so that was like an hour long phone call. There he was crying and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so towards the end of the phone call, I basically said like, dude, literally just tell me what I need to do. And this is almost verbatim. I said, just tell me what I need to do for you to shower today. And I was like, I'll do like
Yikes.
you tell me what it is, I'll do it. And so I said I threw out some ideas. I was like, do I need to go like buy you a Bluetooth speaker? Like, is it? I think I actually we have the text for that too, so people will see
Mm-hmm.
those maybe. But
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I asked them like, are you not showering because you have like a difficulty standing? Like, do you need like a chair for the shower? Like, what is it? What is the hindrance for you to not shower? And he didn't really answer any of those questions, but once he heard Bluetooth speaker, he got a little excited, and he was like, yeah, I'll shower if you get me a Bluetooth speaker. So I
Wow.
said, okay, man, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna buy you a Bluetooth speaker, and by the time I get to your house, you're gonna be showered, right? And he told me he would be.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the store. I buy the Bluetooth speaker, and then I also buy a pack of hard Mountain Dews because if you guys are 21, those are very good, and they're sugar free.
Oh.
And obviously Nova likes Mountain Dew, so
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, and congratulations, we'll like have a Mountain Dew together. But I get to his house, and of course he hadn't showered yet. So I got a
Mm-hmm.
little upset, and I was like, "The second I leave, dude, you better shower and you better post that video." And I should also say the whole point of the shower video, like that, why it was an idea. I was like, it kind of forces his hand. I was like, if you are saying you're gonna post a video of you showering every day, and then you skip a day, like everybody's gonna know. Like you now have like this large amount of accountability being like held against you.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, of
obviously, it didn't really matter.
course. I think it was 2 weeks before he stopped.
Yeah, he stopped. He started skipping days on like day 5 or 6, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I called him out for that. Like that shit's annoying. Like if you're spending like $120 on like Mountain Dews, and it was funny because not only because when I said I'd give him a Bluetooth speaker, he said, "Oh yeah, and I could have like a waterproof phone case too." And I said, uh, I don't think you should really be on your phone in the shower. Like I don't think that's gonna help you like mentally if that's what you're doing. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh no, I'll just use it for taking videos, for the shower videos." And I said, "Don't do that. Like don't take videos of yourself in the shower for these. That is like completely unnecessary."
Mm-hmm.
But I had an extra waterproof phone case anyway, so I just like gave it to him, and sure enough, immediately
Wow.
post a video of him in the shower.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow, dude.
And we have a video of that too of because my brother he also likes Nova for probably the reason most of the people in this stream like Nova, just
Mm-hmm.
to watch and to
To laugh at.
find humor at. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but so he came with me on that little excursion. So that video I sent you of me and him chugging the Mountain Dew with a Bluetooth speaker, that's
Mm,
taken by him.
okay, I see. I see. And you said you got him a pack of hard Mountain Dews. Is
Oh yeah.
alcohol something he enjoys often now that he's 21?
No, not really. He was very
Oh,
like as he turned 21, I remember asking him if he wanted to do anything for his birthday, and he mentioned going to like some brewery in his area to get like a specific IPA he wanted to try. I think he just liked the name or something. Because
yeah.
I would be surprised if Nova actually enjoys IPAs.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
and he did eventually do that like a day or two later. But
Mm-hmm.
basically every time it got brought up for like the next few months, he was like, I don't know if I want to drink. I don't know if I want to go down that path. I don't know if, well, I don't want to,
Wow.
decide I like it too much. He talked about drinking relatively responsibly,
Wow.
surprisingly. It never seemed like there was even an ability for it to be a problem.
Wow. That
Obviously,
is.
that could change, but
Mhm.
for when I knew him,
Wow. I mean, that is a big surprise to me. I remember seeing like empty boxes of like packs of alcohol in his videos. So,
he could be lying. That's also like, if there's
uh,
anything that I just said that should be like, remembered, it's that he did lie consistently. And it was mostly to save face, so he could
mhm.
also just have lied to me.
Oh yeah, and we'll get into that, of course. On to you mentioned going to his house. Is that the first time you like physically met him when you went to clean his help clean his yard?
No, so when I first met him, I wasn't trying to be a weirdo, so I got him some gifts too, just because it was also his birthday, coincidentally, like a couple days prior. So I didn't want it to I got him like candy, and I didn't want it to melt in his mailbox because it was like 95 degrees out. So I ended up just like leaving it on his door and knocking, and he opened the door before I was even down the steps. So I met him then, like basically immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I just explained like, oh, this was not my intention. I was just leaving you like a gift and a letter. Like,
Uh-huh. And how did he take
so that was
that?
the first time I met him.
Hmm. Was he like thankful? Was he like what was
He
his
was a
reaction?
little, he seemed more concerned that, I don't want to say concerned. He seemed hesitant, and I can understand why. Like, you have a stranger at your door,
Mm-hmm.
like giving you things. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's how most people would act. But,
That's fair. That's
but
fair. I'm sorry, were you gonna say something?
no.
Okay, okay. And so that was the first time you met. Was the second time when you went to clean his yard?
Yeah, so I think what we did, I'm either it was either two separate times, and I'm mixing them up, or I'm pretty sure it was one time. But I helped him with his backyard specifically, and then I took him out to a restaurant he mentioned he liked a lot, like right after. No,
Mm-hmm.
I know for certain that's what happened because I remember I like couldn't breathe because of my allergies.
I see. I see. And were you able to go inside?
Yeah, we ate inside.
Inside the
Uh,
house.
oh, in his house? No, I was never allowed in his house. That was made very clear from like the start, like very
Hmm.
clear
By who?
by him.
By him.
And then and then when I met his mother, I only met her twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first time was when I was helping him with the yard. She was like going to some appointment or running some errand, so she was like pulling out of the driveway, or maybe she was pulling it. No, yeah, she was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And as she was leaving, I like stopped what I was doing and like walked up to her car and like introduced myself. And Gabriel eventually walked up to me, and she didn't really say like anything to me. She almost like, because I think I just said like, "Hey, my name is whatever. Like, I'm just here to help him with the yard and stuff." And she like looked past me kind of, and then like looked over at Gabriel and said like, "He's not allowed in the house." And I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Mm-hmm.
So that was basically the extent of my interaction with her mom, or his mom. But it was made very clear multiple times that I was not allowed in there. I didn't, for the record, I didn't want to go in there. I
Mm-hmm.
had zero desire to go in there.
My bad.
Because like I said, like you can smell his house from like halfway up the driveway. Like
Yikes.
it's not good.
And what was the smell like?
It's just the same scent as what he has, just like a very strong like
Cat
like
piss and
poison
ammonia.
ammonia. Yeah, but
Hmm.
again, it's not. It doesn't smell exactly like cat piss. It's like its own mutated strain.
Oh my goodness.
You guys got to go try it. Don't actually do that.
Please don't. No. Did they ever elaborate on that, or just no explanation? Just don't come in the house.
I never even bothered asking, just because it's like it
Hmm.
seems very obvious what it was. Like, they have
Hmm.
trash everywhere. They have pets that I have never seen. But I mean, I heard the dog a few times, but
Hmm.
I like. You think like, I mean, they have a cat, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, they had one at some point.
Yeah, it's like you're telling me that these people who like have like trash covered their stoves, like
Hmm.
their idea of cleaning is moving trash from one corner to another, like they're changing the litter at the
Hmm.
appropriate intervals. It's like
Yeah.
no.
No. Have you
So
ever
it's
like? Sorry, go ahead.
nah, no, it was nothing.
All right, all right. And have you ever? I know you're always like trying to give him, advice on stuff. Have you ever kind of confronted him directly, specifically on the state of his house on the inside, the trash and whatnot?
Yeah, many times,
Hmm.
a lot of time, because again, I'm a big honesty person, just because like, especially in a relationship like this, like if Nova's lying to me, it indicates that he's doing it because, he's ashamed. And I think shame is very important. Like shame is not an inherent part of our psyche so we can like hide away from it. It's to motivate us to be better. So if
Hmm.
he's like lying to me, you know, uh,
So there's a
like
reason behind
obviously,
it.
yeah. So a
Hmm.
lot of times when maybe there'd be like a week we didn't talk where I'm like messaging him every couple of days or something, or
Hmm.
maybe I'm like saying, "Oh, what did you do today?" And my theory is he's often embarrassed by his lack of activity. So it was very common for him to say like, "Oh, I've been really busy cleaning," and I would always call him out like, "No, you fucking weren't. Like your house is like what, 1,300 square feet, maybe." Like how realistically, imagine you have a 1,300 square foot apartment and it's literally like 6 inches deep with trash. Like how long is that going to take you to clean? It's not going to take 2 weeks. It'll maybe take like a few days if you're like
Hmm.
working on it. But like again, Nova, he's not employed. Like there's no reason. Like so it was very apparent that he wasn't. And also you can just see the trash in his videos, so it's like
Oh
he's
yeah.
obviously lying.
Hmm. That's certainly something. And you mentioned earlier in DMs with him. I don't know if anyone knows about this, but you were seriously concerned about like the legality and specifically like how dangerous his the state of his home was, like with the stove and the trash on it. Have you ever kind of? Well, I know you did confront him on that. Did he ever have any response or explanation?
The legality side of it, not really. Like again, it's when a lot of when you it seems like when you try to broach serious topics with him, it's either a defense mechanism or again, it's just like an attempt to manipulate because he doesn't give a fuck. But he would just like listen, be silent, and then like hope
Hmm.
it passes. Like we swap to the next subject. But I said to him multiple times, like, dude, you're violating. Like the scent is a code violation. The vehicles is a code violation. The lawn is a code violation. The trash on the stove is a code violation. Like the rotting food is a code violation. Like and you're uploading videos of all of this. Like so, not only are you like doing this, which is just bad on its own, like you are projecting it publicly, where like anybody who doesn't like you, which is most people, unfortunately, um,
Hmm.
like they can just get you kicked out of your house. Like that's ridiculous. And then there are also some other factors I don't want to get in the details of,
That's
um,
fair.
regarding like health that was a legitimate concern,
Hmm.
for that household.
I get that. That's fair to keep private. So what I'm hearing is he just shuts down whenever confronted and just waits till you forget about it or till you stop asking him. Is that a fair assessment to make?
I mean, a lot of times he will acknowledge what you're saying, but it's like,
Hmm.
I mean, it's obvious he's not internalizing it. Otherwise, this wouldn't still be an issue.
I
Like
see.
which is again, it's strange because he can acknowledge all these things are bad and
Hmm.
acknowledge that he needs to make a change. He can understand that he doesn't have an excuse, but like that's where it stops.
Hmm.
It's like here's another thing that really I think paints a good picture of like how his mind functions.
Hmm.
There was one day where he was complaining about his computer not working, and he
Ah.
he said like, yeah. I'm gonna just make an appointment with a Geek Squad. And I'm like, well, what did you try to fix it? And he's like, nothing. And I was
Hmm.
like, I think I said like, is it possible you like pushed your desktop and like the you flipped the PSU switch off? Like, have you checked the PSU switch is still on? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, are you gonna do that? And he's like, I already made the Geek Squad appointment. And I was like, dude, what? Like you could fix this issue so easily. Like it's what's that quote? Like we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. It's like that, but Nova doesn't have any. But Nova, that's it's just we've tried nothing.
I remember that he made a stream not long after and was like taking it apart, just like abusing that poor computer. But he said that he couldn't get it fixed because the PC was too dirty. Do you know anything about that?
I mean, that was something I brought up when he said the Geek Squad. I'm like, dude, these people aren't gonna want to come into your home. And
Hmm.
I never heard any more about that. So I'm assuming they just, I hope they didn't come for their sake. But
Hmm.
I don't know if he ever. I'm assuming he fixed it. I don't know how. It
Yeah,
was
he.
probably just something stupid.
I bet. Yeah, that is interesting. I never knew that. But no, he did a stream not long after, just like gutting his PC, being very rough with it. It didn't work after, and somehow, you know, it magically turned on. So I'm not sure about that, but I did want to kind of segue us into a very important question, and it's in regards to, you know, his allegations. Well, quote unquote allegations, but I mean, we know it's true. What has he said about it? Have you confronted him about it? What's that
So
about?
yeah, so again, for all the people who were there during the stream where the phone call was played, like that was basically the entire gist is just me confronting him about that.
Hmm.
And as maybe some of you remember, he just didn't really address most of it. But I think the most important part of that call from my perspective is when I gave him the little thought experiment of like, what if, Bloodspeth had done these things, or Lemur, or whatever, all the other
Hmm.
YouTubers who comment on his behavior, and he made the admission, like, yeah, like this would, if they did this, this would not be acceptable. And
Hmm.
for me, that's like the nail in the coffin. It's like, I don't, it's like, great. So you're acknowledging that these are just bad behaviors and you think there should be some repercussions for them. But let's take ourselves out of the thought experiment. Like you did this. It wasn't Bloodspeth or
Hmm.
Lemur or whatever. It was you. So I mean, I
Hmm.
think right there it proves that like not only is Nova like aware these things are bad, he also agrees that actions like these like people should be held accountable for them.
Hmm. I see. But that was very recent. What about the like months beforehand?
So like I said, I tried to address all the like age regression, like diaper, binky stuff, like within the first like month or two of us talking.
Hmm.
And like I said previously, he made it. He got like pretty. He was pretty adamant about getting through that topic as quickly as possible. It was like I said, like oh, that was just like I was just doing it to make friends. Like it was
Hmm.
just something like to connect with other people. Like I look really down on that like behavior. I don't age regress anymore. Like I don't want to use age regression
Hmm.
as a coping mechanism in the future.
Hmm.
Like and that was kind of the pretense the entire relationship was built on. Is like, okay, so all these things that like those were the big things that I was calling into question in terms of like should I interact with this person? Like it's been
Hmm.
addressed. He looks down on that behavior. Now we can move forward with the
Hmm.
friendship. So,
I see. And
but
about
and every time after that they got brought up, he wouldn't even address it. Is something I should
uh,
mention. Like if anybody brought up like diaper binky stuff after that conversation, he would just not even respond, or he'd say like, "I don't like talking about this."
I see. Well, what about the minor stuff specifically? Like the Nova files. She was 14. Sia, his manager, was 15. As you knew, I'm not sure if he knew. Well, he probably had some kind of idea. Did you ever confront him about it? Did he ever say anything about it?
We talked. So when I started the friendship, I really didn't know too much outside of the age regression stuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I'd seen clips from him and his manager, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
understand like the context of them. I knew he had like a podcast with that girl, and I
Mm-hmm.
later learned she was a minor, but
Uh-huh.
By the time I learned enough details about it to like have an even greater problem, like it was in my mind, it was like, oh, we've already addressed it. Like,
Uh-huh.
and also I should say I don't maybe I did see something and I don't recall, but I kind of doubt it. I don't, but I didn't recall seeing anything that was inherently. Let me preface this. So I understand why people can believe age regression is an inherently sexual thing and why it can make a lot of people just uncomfortable in general, even if like
Mm-hmm.
someone tries to explain it as non-sexual. But at the same time, I was trying to like respect what Gabriel was telling me. I didn't want to call him a liar, and I definitely didn't want to believe, he was like some predator. So I just kind of was like, okay, this is what he's telling me. I'm not gonna get a different answer. And
Mm-hmm.
worst case scenario, maybe he's lying. Maybe like he did have these negative intentions. But like, does it really matter if like the goal is to make him better? You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, would the world not be a better place if Nova was a better person? Like the obvious answer is yes.
Mm-hmm. No,
So
I understand. I really do. Um, and about the podcast, I think that was before you two met. But has he ever talked more about it? I know he talked about starting a new one. Anything you know about that?
he mentioned the manager, I think, once or twice I don't remember the context, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
We never really talked about the podcast.
Okay.
I've
Did
never listened to him either.
mm-hmm. Was it
Are they good? Are they any good? You guys like them?
well? What do you think? Nova's
I bet
content.
they're. I'm
Yeah.
sure he has a lot of opinions that are valuable.
Oh, not really. He just read out the Wikipedia pages or Kiwi Farms pages or whatever, as he would
Seems like
expect.
really healthy behavior.
That's one way of looking at it. That is one way of looking at it.
I was being sarcastic.
No, I
That's
know.
obviously not good to do.
Of course, me too. Me too. So, over the course of your relationship, you've told me that there were a few specific instances that really kind of broke your trust with Nova. The first one is about him lying about. Oh, let me skip this clip. Was about him lying in regards to this kind of weight loss plan you and your buddies had him on or suggested for him, and something with DoorDash. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So I mean, I should. He was lying relatively consistently, basically our whole
Mm.
relationship. But I
Uh-huh.
mean, usually it was like small, like I said, it was like, oh, I've been cleaning this week, or like, oh, I was like doing chores all day. It's like obviously he wasn't. But those I don't see as that big of a deal. It's like whatever. But yeah, he started talking. He like came into our Discord channel one day when my like super strong peptides pinning jacked friend,
Uh-huh.
handsome Stanley Ash guy was in there, and he's like a huge health nut. So him and Nova started talking, and they had like an actually pretty deep conversation for like an hour and a half. Like most of us were being silent while they talked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like both of them seemed pretty into it. Nova seemed pretty excited about like getting healthier. So like that kind of started us all, not us, it was mostly me,
Mm-hmm.
trying to hold him accountable. Like, dude, like if you want to be healthier, what's stopping you from like it's basically like the shower saga, but just for our Discord server. Like, why aren't you just posting in here like what you're consuming in a day? Because like you're saying like, oh, I only ate like tater tots today. Like I had 600 calories of tater tots. Like obviously that's not true. Like nobody gets like this from eating 600 calories a day. So
Mm-hmm.
either you're lying, which either you're lying or you're just like totally forgetting like a large amount of the food you're eating. I mean, and in both cases, like an easy fix is to just log them and post them to like your friends so they can hold you accountable. And
Uh-huh.
the first like big issue that happened was when he like I think he posted some video where he mentioned he DoorDashed or something, but and we had been talking for like 2 weeks about how he needs to stop DoorDashing, how like unhealthy and expensive it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he just like would not tell me what he got. And I know that sounds kind of cringy and weird. Like, tell me what you got at DoorDash last night now. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's important to hold yourself accountable. And he just would not. He would not tell me. And then
Mm-hmm.
eventually we ended up just calling the the restaurant we knew he DoorDash from, and we
Wow.
just said like, "Hey, my friend, he ordered food for all of us last night, and he won't tell us how much it is, so we can't give him the money for it. He's trying to be like nice, but we want to like split the check, and he won't tell us the price. And they're like, "Oh, what's the name?" And of course, it was under Nova Online. It wasn't even under his real name, which is a little
Wow.
funny. Because we said his legal name first, and he was like, "We don't have any orders for that." And then he's
Hmm.
like, "Is it under Nova?" He's like, "Oh, there it is." And so we saw he ordered like $40 worth of food,
My
and then
goodness.
shortly after that, he ended up sending the actual like DoorDash receipt, which I think you have if you want to pull it up.
I don't have it like at this moment, but I
Um,
saw something about, you know, multiple entrees is what he got as for one order, right?
Let me see if I can find it.
I'm sure I'll for sure pull it up. In the meantime, I'm just gonna go over my super chats, and some people have
Yeah, yeah,
questions.
yeah, for sure.
Yep. So thank you for the two, Doctor Naborius. How did that make you feel? Therapies. Thank you very much. Thank you for the five, Cookie of Cream. How good was Nova at remembering things? He has yet to update his YouTube bio to his actual page.
How good is he at I don't know. There are some things I would bring up that he would like not like. For example, the Pound Town. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've told him so many times, like, dude, you can't like out of all the people to decide like, oh, when I ban people, I'll say Pound Town. Like, you're the last person who should say that. Like somebody who like already has all these like freako allegations against yourself. Like you have a lot of minors in your chat, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
now every time you ban someone, which is like probably more times than not, it's a minor. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna say you're sending him to Pound Town, like stop, like stop doing that. And I remember he didn't change it for like a week or two, and then randomly on one stream, he's like, "My friend told me to stop saying that, so I'm not calling it that anymore." So like, he obviously has like some sort of relatively effective memory, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but then again, he's also saying Pound Town again. So
I
I
see.
think there's again, it's just something that everyone needs to decide. Like, does he just is this an intelligence issue, or is it really
Mm-hmm.
just he doesn't care and he's manipulating people?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's easy to determine.
I get that. I see. And thank you for the two, Pyro. Does Gabriel have a cigarette mom? I don't know if you're comfortable talking about that.
I never saw her smoke. I never smelled cigarettes. So
Okay.
that's really all I can say.
Okay. Thank you for the five, Smith. This kind of have has been a question for a while, just because we haven't heard from her. But do you know the current state of Nova's mother?
I am relatively familiar with the state of Nova's mother.
But like
What
currently, I mean, like, is she okay as far as you know?
so the last things, and again, I would the last things I don't want to. So yeah, I don't really want to divulge a bunch of like medical information, obviously, especially about
Mm-hmm.
someone who's just kind of been dragged into this whole thing.
Yeah. No,
I
you don't
would
have to get into
say
specifics. Yeah.
I will say that I've had a lot of conversations with Nova about what happens if this is gonna sound worse than it actually is, but
Mm-hmm.
what happens when she's gone? You know,
Uh huh.
um, yeah, there. I would say most people, if it was your mom, you would probably not be super stoked. I'll just say that in terms of
Yeah.
like health.
No, I get that. But
It,
what
is
would you
she
say
alive? I think
is,
she's
yeah,
alive. I don't know.
okay? Because just haven't heard from her in a while. Some people are curious. I do hope she's okay. And best soup. Thank you for the five. Just joined. Does his friend know about the age play? Oh, yeah. They kind of corrected themselves right after. Said I should have waited a second. And then thank you for the other five. Soup. Okay, is the Nova X Tofia ship called Tova or something? That actually brings up a good question. Has he ever talked about Tofia Chu, if you know who she is?
Yeah, I mean, usually I don't think I've ever heard him bring somebody up in a positive light. It's usually him when he brings up people like that. He does it in an attempt to like compare himself to them to like raise himself up, which I usually shut that down. I'm like, dude, like out of all the people, like, cool, you can maybe justify like you're a little better than Tofia. A lot of people would disagree with that, but like
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can, like, that's not the bar. Like the bar isn't like I'm not Tofia.
Hmm.
Like that's what you need to achieve to be happy in life. You just need to not be a toofia.
Hmm. And he didn't have much of a response to that, I reckon.
Nah, yeah, that's a pretty big trend when you say things like that. He just is like, ah, okay,
Just acknowledges it and doesn't respond. Okay.
moves on. Yep.
I see, I see. And did you get those screenshots, or the one with the DoorDash specifically?
I think I sent it to. Hold on, let me. I can't find it in my files, but I know I sent it to you on the
Hmm.
other thing. So let me.
We can look through it when if we do go end up going through those texts between you two, and those are a whole other can of worms. But thank you, Uncle Drew. I appreciate your message. Thank you, Nicole, as well, for the five and for your message. We all greatly appreciate it. And back onto the interview. The other issue that you brought up, well, with me at least, was in regards to Nova's brother, quote unquote, and some stuff about the hospital and whatnot. Do you want to
Yeah,
explain that?
that was probably the biggest like rift in our friendship throughout the entire thing, just because of I don't know how weird it was, how irritating it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so basically Christmas Day, I think like 4 or 5 p.m. Like a couple of us were like playing games in our little Discord server, and he comes in and he says something to the effect of, "Well, this Christmas is ruined." And
Mm-hmm.
obviously we're all like, "What do you mean? What's going on?" And he says like, "My brother's in the hospital, an artery in his heart ruptured." And I'm like, "Oh my fucking God!" Like Jesus Christ! Like that's terrible. Like, is he gonna live? Like, is he stable? Like, what's going on? Is he in surgery?
Mm-hmm.
And he says something like, I don't know. I'm trying to text him, and I said, are you gonna go down and see him? Where does he live? And he told me it was like somewhere in California. And
Hmm.
then the thing that tripped me up immediately is I was like, so are you like looking at flights? And he's like, no, I don't have a star card, and yeah, I'm not gonna go see him. And I was like, what the
Hmm.
fuck? Like your brother had his heart effectively rupture and you're not gonna like see him because like this minor inconvenience. Like you'd have to either get a star card or like do the pre-screening to fly. Like that's insane.
Hmm.
So that's when it started to not really make sense. And then, throughout the day I started asking like more questions.
Hmm.
And it got really weird when he started giving us more information. And I was like, how are you getting all this? Like, how are you hearing about all this if your brother is in like, because he also said he was in a coma. I was like, how are you
Wow.
getting all this info if your brother's in a coma? And he told me the doctor has his phone and has been texting me. And I was like,
My
dude,
goodness.
what? And I remember I was like, wait a minute. And I remember scrolling back up in the Discord to like see when he first started talking about like specific info. And it was like 2.5 hours.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, dude, you think the doctor just has your brother's phone and has just been like hanging out, texting you on it for 2.5 hours? Like, you have to understand how insane that is. Like, that's not real. Like, there's no like if in some universe where that's real, like that doctor is like they're not going to be a doctor for very much longer if they're
Of
just
course.
stealing patients' phones,
Hmm.
cracking their password and texting their fucking friend or brother. And then shortly after that, because I started prying once I realized how like none of this made sense. And again, I'm like a super big honesty guy. Um, so then I started wondering like, is Nova lying to me? Is this guy lying to Nova? And once I started prying more, he said, I need to tell you something.
Hmm.
And I said, what? And he said, he's not actually my brother. He's just a really good friend. And so then I said, well, how long have you known him? And he said, 2 years.
Wow.
So and then it was like the next day or 2 days later, I was like, "Oh, how's your brother?" And he's like, "Oh, he's out of the hospital, back at work." And I'm like, "Dude, you're not gonna have an artery in your heart rupture and then just be back at work like 2 days later. Like he should be like asleep in the hospital for like weeks." Like,
Hmm.
um, and then that was at the point where it became pretty clear, probably to him, that I like didn't buy it, and I was getting frustrated with the lies. And so at that point, I kind of pivoted, and I started saying like, I don't. I think it's always good to if you want the truth out of someone, you have to paint them in a positive light, so they have like a desire to like be truthful with you.
Uh huh.
And so I just kind of talking to him under the assumption that like, oh, this guy is lying to you, even though I knew that there's a really good chance it was, Nova lying to me. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this guy's lying to you. You can't be friends with him if he's saying all this stuff. Like he's lying about like basically borderline dying. Like, do you not see that as serious? Like how serious it is for, to fake like a major procedure like that? Like, and then I started saying like, what if like other people found out that you're like talking to somebody who is, lying about like major medical procedures like this? Like that's not going to be a good look.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially if you're trying to get sympathy from people for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the biggest example of him like saying something and then not talking for a week. He'd like post something in the Discord, and then I'd be like, "So, what's up with your brother?" And then he would like go away for a week, and then he'd come back and post like a paracord bracelet he made, and I'd be like, "What's going on with that brother? Are you still running those errands?" Then he'd leave, and after like a month, I forget what came up, but something else came up that was like interesting. So I was like, you know what, I'll just drop it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we talk about it in that last phone call, and he still never addressed it. He never
Yeah.
explains.
No, he stayed silent most of the time when you addressed him, where you brought up stuff. So it sucks we didn't really get any
Does this
explanation
guy
from
know
him on
about
that.
Nova's girlfriends? Did Nova ever bring them up? So for the majority of the time I knew Nova, he mentioned him being in like a semi polyamorous relationship with like I think one of the people was trans and lived in like Montana or South Dakota, and then another one lived in like California. But then like later
Uh,
he mentioned him like only having one partner, but he never explained like he never even acknowledged the fact that he like just stopped talking about like one of his theoretical partners. So that's about
mm-hmm.
the extent I know about them. I know that like one was potentially trans. He told me a little bit about like the career field of the other partner, but outside of
Mm-hmm.
that, that's pretty much it.
He never divulged any more about his romantic life.
No, and honestly, I think a lot of the time he used it as a crutch because people would bring up like, oh, like look at this weird thing Nova did, and he would be like, I have a girlfriend or I have a whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a pretty convenient cop out to have if people are, throwing accusations like that at you.
Okay, okay, I understand. And we talked about this friend of his that he's apparently known for 2 years. Calls him his brother. He's a whole other story, but I did want to mention or ask you about that one guy from Hawaii who you said regularly buys Nova stuff, sends him gifts, and kind of looks up to him in a way. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'll just I'll call him Hawaii for the sake of this conversation, but
Hawaii.
but yeah, so I was I like noticed Nova wasn't like being active in the Discord for a while, so I kind of assumed like something was he was like talking to other people, whatever. So I like started messaging him privately, like, "Hey, what's up? Like, what have you been up to?" Or maybe it was like he got a gift. He said like a fan sent him a gift, and I asked him about it. I can't recall exactly, but that's when he explained like, "Oh yeah, I've been talking to Hawaii, this new guy, for like a couple of weeks. Like, he's been sending me this stuff. Like, we've been talking in
Mm,
Discord." And I was immediately concerned, just because like, oh, I hope this isn't someone like just trying to get like in with Gabriel to like fuck his life up. Which I mean, sure enough, that happened, kind
mm-hmm.
of, in like a few months later.
Uh-huh.
But so then I said like, oh well, hey, if you guys are like talking all the time, like let's just get in a group call, just us three, and I'll like talk to him, and if he's cool, I'll just add him to the server. Um, and so I had like a I don't know 10-15 minute conversation with him, and he's like a pretty alright guy, seems pretty normal, but yeah, he definitely seems I don't know him super well, so I don't want to just so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, but from my perspective, it seems like he kind of idolizes Nova a little bit based on the things he said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, of course, it appears that he continued to buy him gifts. They continued to talk, but
What kind of
that's
gifts did he get for Nova?
so I think he bought him for sure Pokemon cards. I'm like pretty sure the like Hawaiian gummies that he got. a while ago were from him. I'm pretty sure the like carbonated circle bottle is from him, but that one I'm not sure about. But I think it's fair to assume that a lot of the little gifts he was saying were being sent by fans in that period were from him. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know specifically for most of those, just a few.
And as far as you know, are they still in contact?
I would assume so. When all that stuff came out like 2 weeks ago, just out of
Mm-hmm.
respect, I messaged Hawaii, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll just read it. Um, I said, "Hey man, I decided to remove you and Nova from the server due to all this stuff that came up with him. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but I can't justify associating with either of you, especially with all the other people in the server who aren't even aware of who Nova is. No hard feelings on my end. Thanks for hanging out with us in there." And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that was the last time I talked to him.
Okay.
Um, but since then, I just I don't recall, but Hawaii was in the not good server, right?
Uh,
I don't remember if you
I don't
ever
even know his
verified that.
username or anything, so I mean,
Oh,
most likely, but I wouldn't know. If you want to send me his username or his profile, I can double check. But I would definitely assume he was in Nova's Discord server. And on to our next topic. We talked about this a bit before, and it's in regards to his income, how he supports himself, quote unquote. I mean, of course, he just wastes all the money he gets. But do you know what his main income sources are? I would assume it's Cameo. Does he make money, a decent amount of money off of TikTok or YouTube or anything else?
the only time I've heard him mention income has been Cameo, so I don't really know if he's getting any or what amount of money from TikTok or YouTube. I would imagine it's not a lot, just because most of his videos don't do crazy well.
Mm-hmm.
But that was also a point of contention, just because like you have this person who like is publicly complaining about like money problems. He's like publicly talking about like how there are disagreements with him and his mother, over finances because his mother believes he like isn't contributing enough. Like he's posting all
Mm-hmm.
this online, and while he's doing this, he also has his Cameo business and his Novacord business. So like these things that he's saying are gonna, you know, be factors in terms of people who like may be willing to like purchase like a Cameo or a bracelet, and that really bothered me just because it's like you're complaining about money issues, and then you have 100 something cameos and backlogs. Like you have people in your TikTok comments who have paid for cameos, and you're just not doing them. So it's just that that was something I would bring up to him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, and that was another thing. I'd be like, dude, how many cameos do you do today? Like, how many cameos do you do today? Like every time he would tell me he had this large backlog, I'd try to like message him every day or two about it to make sure he's like knocking them out. But I don't think he ever really adjusted that.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if he's still like just letting cameos expire.
I mean, it's what, 30, 40 seconds per cameo? That's a lot of money to just let expire. 30, 40 seconds, you get 20 something dollars. That's insane. And
No,
he
yeah, and
consistently let it expire?
there are times where I think he was complaining about like very specific sums of money he needed, like publicly, like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
need like $700 for this, or like this many dollars for this, and it's like, dude, you have it is right there, it's just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
But so like, what are you doing? Like, oh, I want money, but I don't want to do like anything for it.
Did he actually say
I
that?
don't. No, no, of course not.
Okay,
Um,
okay. Did he say anything about that question in particular?
no, he never really explained. I mean, it would always just hit me with like, "Oh, I've been just so busy,"
Mm-hmm.
and to that, I would always say, "Busy with what? Like, literally, what have you been doing?" And it'd always be like, "Oh, I've been cleaning this week,"
Wow.
or something to that effect, which
Mm-hmm.
again is obviously a lie.
Mm-hmm. Of course, of course. And you mentioned Nova complained about getting in an argument with his mom about whatever. Do they argue a lot from your knowledge? I'm sure he complains about it a lot to you.
Um, they definitely. I don't know if they argue, but there's definitely a lot of disagreements they have where like things where like consequences are hung over his head. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're I don't like to say it, but you're like freeloading off your mom effectively. Like a normal, healthy 21-year-old adult would be, you know, disgusted by the idea.
Hmm.
Um, but like, nope. It's for him. It's just like an expectation of how his life should work. So it's just like this is how it should go. Anything I'm asked to do past that is like a hindrance. It's unfair.
Hmm.
It's like my mom wants me to contribute rent to like the house that I've lived in as an adult for the past 3 years. Like this sucks.
My
And again, like
goodness.
I would explain to him like that's just how it goes. Like just buck up, like make the cameos. It's not that bad. And I would always reiterate like, do you know how fucking lucky you are? Where like all you have to do to get $2,000 is like read a couple of sentences and like make a video on in bed. Like
Hmm.
that's insane. That's extremely fortunate.
Hmm.
But
It's one of the things he takes for granted. Um, I I never mentioned this to you. I'm assuming you don't know, but there was an argument between him and his mom where he like punched holes into his door, or it was either his door or his wall. But yeah, like mid argument, he punched holes into the home. Does he ever has he ever told you about that? Do you know anything about it?
no, I've never heard anything like that.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just
No,
saying
no,
it's
of course.
never been brought up. I never thought to ask. That seems. I will say that like that seems like something that seems like something Nova might say. Like he tapped the wall with his fist. I think another good thing to bring up here is the wrist squeeze incident.
The wrist squeeze.
I think it's another good example of like how his brain maybe functions. But like most adults can recognize. Let me say this. So the first time I came to Nova's to help him with his yard,
Hmm.
we go in the back and there's a paracord hanging from a tree with like a loop at the end that's like wrist size. I didn't know about the wrist squeezing incident. I had no idea. And so I'm like cleaning up all the trash from his backyard because he just like when he does those food reviews in his backyard, he just like pushes it off his glass table and just like throws it in the weeds. So I was like cleaning all the trash up and I'm
Ugh.
like, what's up with this like paracord just like hanging from this tree right here? And I should also mention the branch was like maybe 6 feet high. And the string, like the loop where it's
Sorry.
funny. It is funny from an objective standpoint, but I should also say like it's not funny. Suicide is never funny.
No, of course
Um,
not. But him
but
making a
I just
mockery of
don't.
it.
Yeah, yeah. No, no.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure I cover my bases
Yes,
here.
of course. Glad you do.
Um, but yeah. So, but in the loop, the paracord loop was maybe like 3 or 4 feet off the ground. So I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, that's from a really dark time in my life," or he said something to that effect. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because it's like it's not a noose. Like everyone knows what a noose looks like. That's not what this is. And he's like, and then he explains like, "Oh, I tried to like, you know, end it." And I was like, "How?" Because I was like looking at it, I'm like, "How?" Like, what is the? I understand what you're saying, and I understand what I'm looking at. I don't see how they connect.
God.
And he's like, "From squeezing my wrist." And so I'm like thinking.
Sorry, go.
I'm like, okay, so it's tied to a tree, which makes me think he was like hanging from the tree, but the loop's only like 3.5 feet, 4 feet off the ground, so he's probably seated on the ground. So he's probably just like sitting on his butt on the ground with his wrist in the air, like just like really tight.
Oh my.
And so I can't recall if I told him then. I'm like, I don't think that can do that. I don't think that works like that.
Oh my
Which
God.
which so the question is, did he know that? The question is, was this all an act for himself? Like, 'cause again, there's only two options.
Oh
Either
my
he's like
goodness.
so unintelligent he legitimately thinks that could have ended it, or he just wanted to say like, oh, I like attempted, and then like he could then in the future use that to like empathize with himself or like get empathy from other people.
Oh my
And
God.
a follow-up question to that is how long was he sitting on the ground before he's like, I'm gonna make a change? And like, um,
Oh my God. So,
I mean, my assumption is some part of him understood that like that's not gonna do anything, but he just wanted to be able to say like, oh, like I tried this. I'm a warrior. I fought through it.
so
Which that's all assumption. I don't actually know his thought process going into that
mm,
event. but those are just based on everything I saw and the absurdity of it. That's just what I'm assuming is that some part of him knew like this isn't doing anything, but from this point forward, I'll be able to say like, I beat this.
My goodness. So, as far as like from everything you saw, if you had to paint a picture of what occurred, you'd say that Nova sat in a chair with his
I think he
like
sat on the
on the
ground probably, but maybe a chair. If it was a chair, that's probably worse because that would mean his wrist is at like chest level.
Okay. So he sat down and like put his hand through the loop and just kind of sat with it until he decided to get up.
Well,
Is
like
that
I don't. It's either that or he was like holding him, or he was like on the ground and like holding, like trying to lift himself up by his wrist with the cord. So maybe he was like doing like a lat exercise, like trying to like put as much pressure on his wrist
like
as
a
he could. Like it really
pull-up?
doesn't make any sense. If you're trying to like maximize the pressure on your like the arteries in your wrist, like that's what
Hmm.
you'd probably do.
Yeah,
Because
and
like if you're hanging by your wrist, like all the force is going to be going like up your hand. It's not going to be applied to your actual like artery.
hmm
So it's either like he just tied it for the to the tree for fun, and he just tied it to his wrist really tight, or he was like in some form hanging from his wrist while like sitting on the ground.
you just can't make this up, dude. And you said it was what, only 3, 4 feet off of the from the ground, the noose.
Yeah, it wasn't a noose. It was just a regular
Or
knot. It was just a
the
regular loop. But
okay,
but yeah, it
okay,
was it was the branch, if I remember right, was like 6 feet off the ground, and the paracord was like 3 feet down. So like yeah, it would have.
okay.
It was at like chest height or lower on me, like the actual loop where his wrist was.
Oh my goodness. So he's what, 5'8". That means that it would be like at his chest, maybe the loop if he's standing up. Is that accurate? Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I
Oh,
it, I didn't ask. Maybe I should have just out of curiosity asked like reenact it. It just probably seemed a little inappropriate at the time.
no, that would be yeah, inappropriate. Jeez, to say the least. You can't make this up, dude. That's fucking hilarious.
But I remember I asked after that. I'm like, okay, why is it still up? Like, why are you leaving it here? Like, again, it's just like, dude, if you're trying, like, life, life isn't easy, but it is simple. Okay, and so like, if you're keeping a reminder in your backyard of the one time you were allegedly super sad, so sad you wanted to end it, like, that's not gonna be productive for your life moving forward to like look at that every day.
My goodness, just wow. And with that specifically, has he ever kind of talked about ending it, quote unquote? Of course, he never tried to. Um, has he ever talked about it with you? Any other attempts, quote unquote? Use it for sympathy, maybe?
No, and based on how he talked about that event, I think he would have brought it up because I think the 2 year anniversary just of that event came up like a couple of months ago,
Yep,
and
February 14th.
he made everyone pretty aware. So I think if there was another attempt, he would have told a lot of people.
And yeah, so the only other attempt, as far as you know, or baiting, whatever, would be after the call where you severed ties with him and he uploaded that on his community post tab.
Yeah, that was the only other time I've seen him mention. I mean, he's made comments like, um, his Discord. I don't know what the little thing is on Discord where you can like make a little
The
text
status,
bubble.
the status.
Yeah, like
Uh
that.
huh.
That was constantly cycling through. Like, hold on, my cat is freaking out.
No, I hear it.
I'm gonna take a pee break. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. I guess that kind of gives me a bit of an opportunity to tell you guys about specifically his statuses. His most recent one, the one he has right now, as far as I know, is I I'm waiting for the day Bloodspeth becomes a lol cow, something along those lines, which is just beautiful projection on his part. You know what? Let me read out some super chats in the meantime. I'll ask the questions when he comes back. So thank you, Nicole, for the 5. Uh, Thank you and this go for taking the time to talk about this. No, it's hard. You guys are doing great. Thank you very much. Thank you for the 5 basically gay your face. He claimed that he didn't like Jupiter and that he lived hours away from him, but didn't know about him in his Hour of Joy slash Kiwi Core series. Yeah, he definitely just tries to make the appearance. He's trying to appear as someone who's not like involved with lolcows. He doesn't know who these are when he's literally just another version of Jupiter. Both overweight, long greasy hair, predators. Um, so yeah, thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 5. Looney, has the unalive bait been addressed? Oh, we just went through that. Thank you for the 5. Soup. Genuinely, how is he getting in relationships? I know people do it for attention, but if this
Sorry
was
about
before he
that,
blew
gang.
up, it's all good. I don't know how he was
All right.
pulling. Um, so you just missed me reading out the super chat. Someone asks, genuinely, how is he getting in relationships? I'd say it's literally all trolls. Do you have anything to say about that? Like how you think he's getting into relationships, quote unquote?
I don't. I don't think it. I mean, again, I don't really know that much about them, but I would assume they're not trolls just based on like what is there to gain. I mean, maybe there it is, and they're just like really messed up in the head.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what is there to gain by like feigning being in a relationship with Gabriel for an extended period of time, and then not only that, but like not even making it public. Like these people are basically completely anonymous. So like, are they just doing it for the love of the game? Like they just like
I think
to
so.
frickin' bully this guy, or
Mm-hmm. That's
I don't know.
usually the point I see, and a lot of people just love the fact that they're talking to someone famous, quote unquote, even though it's literally just some fat predator with some TikTok followers who reviews food. That's a part of it, but it's. I wish we knew. I wish we knew. And thank you for the 2. Nicole Nova's a cartoon character. It's a very sad cartoon. Very sad cartoon. Thank you for the 5. Shaman King. A room of the best comedy writers couldn't come up with a funnier scenario than the Predacord noose. That's the funniest thing Nova's ever done. Now that we have like the actual like details of it, I will agree that is the funniest thing in regards to Nova like ever.
The visual of imagining him like sitting on the ground with his wrist in the air and then like getting this look of like triumph while he takes it off is funny to me.
Like this
Like
self accomplishment. I can't believe I
I did it.
survived.
I did it. I made it out.
God, man, I would kill to see that.
I really, yeah, I do. I am interested to know like how long did he sit there? Like, was it like 2 minutes? If like really any number would be funny. Again, not that these things are funny;
No,
they're
of
inherently
course.
not. But like the idea of just sitting on the ground with your hand in the air for like what if it was like an hour or 30 minutes?
He
Like
does not
that.
have the attention span for that. Come on.
Maybe he
30.
fell asleep.
Maybe, maybe. So, do you think he just kind of like got up as soon as it started getting sore? Oh, there's more life to live. Just kind of gets up and takes
I
his
mean,
hand.
I really don't know. Like, I don't even know if it would get sore.
Oh my god. Because it was so low to the ground. My goodness, you just can't make this up. But back back onto the actual interview. You talked about you wouldn't let Nova in your cars if he smelled too bad, if he didn't clean himself up.
We did say that. We never actually held him to it, which
Uh huh.
I don't know if that's a regret or not, but we
What
there was never a time where he didn't have a pungent scent, despite us telling him to like not do that.
was there ever a time he smelled at least like normal, like a regular person on the street? Not
There's times
bad,
he
not
smelled
great,
more
just.
normal, I guess, but not really. There was
Hmm.
times where I was like, okay, like wash your clothes, dry your clothes, put those clothes on, and then immediately get in my car. Like put your new clothes on right after you shower or right before you get in my car. So it's like minimizing the amount of time that can be like contaminated. And even then it didn't seem to do much.
My goodness, did you really look at him that way? Like a contamination? Was he really that bad? His hygiene?
I mean, I wasn't like concerned about getting sick or anything like that, but also I wasn't like touching him or anything. But
That's good to know.
I don't know. Like I would imagine it like the surfaces he touched are gonna be, you know, have more like germs on them than like if you or me were to touch something.
Oh, okay. I understand. Okay. That paints a clearer picture. Pardon me. So you mentioned, well, firstly, what I was gonna segue to was him getting in your cars, meaning like you guys are hanging out. Do you guys hang out
I'm sorry,
often?
I need to take a hiatus real quick.
All right, well, I'll be waiting. So let's read some more super chats. Thank you, Cooper, for joining the Spethers. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 5 best soup. Thithith wee disappointing. Can't believe thithith at working. Nova probably. He would not be disappointed. Jesus, I can't even. Yeah, sorry about the no rewind. I guess I forgot to turn on that setting in OBS. But the stream will be archived. Absolutely, like you guys will be able to watch it front to back, all that good stuff. I feel like I'll keep it up here and then upload it on my second channel and kind of just put it to that just so it's more. Or maybe I'll keep it up here. I'm not too sure. And yeah, not members only. Y'all will be able to watch it. Anyone wants to use it for content, like go ahead. I really don't care. And if anyone has, whoa, wait, hold on. No fucking shot. No fucking shot. Is this it? No way we just scrolled onto this. This is the news or whatever. Is this it? Look, it's like bright red. Oh, and has that little loop. Is this really it? My fucking.
I apologize, guys.
Oh, you're back already?
Yeah, I'm gonna message you privately.
All right. If you want to like look at the stream, I think this. If can you confirm that this is the paracord news?
That is the color I remember it being.
You see, kind of the loops, kind of small. Is this it?
I think so.
Oh my.
Maybe my dimensions were a little bit off. That looks a little bit higher than 4
Yeah.
feet.
So did he maybe get on like a step stool? That's even funnier.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. All right. Wow.
Yeah, where were we at?
Where were we at?
I'm gonna need to take like a 3-minute break at some point in the next like minute or two, but I'll
Yeah,
be
no
back.
worries, no worries.
We can keep talking.
Yeah, I'll just let you know, like, so you can like think of what to say. I was gonna ask about the hangouts and particularly the Dave and Buster's one with the fish.
So that um
You can
you told the story pretty well on your stream, but yeah, so there's some text about that. That whole interaction was kind of humorous, but
Mhm.
the Dave and Buster's like just opened near us, and he was like really excited, like he wanted the rope drop opening day effectively.
Mhm.
And so we go eventually, and we get there and we like eat first, and he's like really excited, like looking over at the games, and he orders like trout or salmon or something. It was like some fish dish from Dave and Buster's, which is already like strange in my opinion, but whatever. Um, and then like you said, oh, here's my hiatus. I'll be back in like 5, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. We will wait. If you got to do something, you got to go do something. Wow. And when he gets back, I'll ask him to really explain the story. It is the funniest shit. I wouldn't say it's funnier than the paracord something, but my goodness, the story just and mainly it's hearing about how he acts in public and how he treats people, service workers as well, waiters and whatnot. My goodness, dude, just at a loss for words. Thank you for the 2, Fancy Dan. Gabriel Gage is a predator. I second that. I second that. Thank you for the 5, Cookie. The mental image of Nova sitting on a stool with his hand wrapped in a cord while watching TikToks on his phone in the dark is funny. I would say he was probably on his phone Well, do you guys think he was like texting one of the minors and like saying, "This is it. I'll see you on the other side," while sitting there with the paracord around his wrist? Ugh, Lord have mercy on my soul. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. Might die of laughter. Well, I mean, I don't think that can kill you. Well, it could probably has the same amount of same chance of killing me as the wrist paracord stuff. I want to see if he uploaded anything, because you guys know he's watching. And message for you, Nova, if you are watching, you are a predator. And I didn't play this chat, but after I announced the interview, Nova very quickly uploaded this video. This song perfectly thumbs up what my social life with friends is like. I'm not gonna play it, copyright. He goes, by the way, multiple broken down vehicles. None of these run. Walks up. Look at how he walks. Look, just take a look here. He kind of just waddles up, and something he hasn't said yet, but like is something that is like an issue with Nova. He told me that Nova said there were periods of time where like he couldn't stand up for like days straight because his legs were so sore, quote unquote. And apparently he never paid any mind to it. Nova never really like, thought of it as too big of an issue. He doesn't exercise. He doesn't do anything that would make him sore. I think you guys know what direction I'm going, especially when that's coupled with the statement he made, where apparently I'm all over the place, but Nova, from what he said, has like issues with his legs where it was kind of like discolored with, I think, what was it, reddish, purplish, like coloring on his like legs. And you guys can probably tell what, is the issue with that. Oh my god. My goodness. And he's just like neglecting his health so much. And so when I see him fucking waddle around like this, like he's holding in like the biggest shit. You back?
Sorry guys, my timer went off. I had to do 100 pull-ups real quick.
Wow.
I know, a little slow personally, but
yeah,
I mean,
what was that? 2 minutes? I mean, I think I could do 400 in that time. Were you doing both arms or one?
I was doing both arms, but my little brother was taped to my waist.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I kind of do it with my pinky, and I also have my wrist around like wrist wrapped with paracord. that's what I do. Pull up.
Nova needs to make paracord wrist wraps for the gym. That'd be awesome.
For the gym. Oh my goodness, man, still hung up on that fucking story. Like, you just can't make this up, man. My goodness.
Yeah. Anyway, so
could you kind of start from the beginning with the Dave and Buster's one? I told everyone how funny it was.
So yeah, he originally told me, I think they opened on like Tuesday or Monday. And I'm looking at the text right now. I sent them to you as well, censored and stuff already. But I think he wanted to go on Wednesday. They opened for the first time on like Monday or Tuesday. And he messaged me like on Sunday, and he says, "Hey, I have a quick question," and I'm reading these. "Do you want to scope out Dave and Buster's tomorrow so we know what we're gonna do?" Oh, nope, I'm incorrect. So we were gonna go Monday, I guess. So he says, "Do you want to scope out Dave and Buster's tomorrow so we know what we're gonna do on Monday?" And I said, "Why would we do that?" Or no, he corrects himself. It was Wednesday. I'm getting everyone fucked up.
It's all good.
Anyway, so he wanted to go like a day or two early to scope out what games we're gonna play. And so I'm like, why would we do that? That's ridiculous. And so I said no. We eventually go on Wednesday, and he's super excited. We get there, we eat, and this is another interesting thing about him is like, at least myself and maybe a lot of other people kind of assumed that oh, this guy is like down on his luck. He's like this goofy little dude. He's probably kind.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably just he's just got a bad shake. But he's pretty. I think it's unintentional, but he's pretty rude to like other people out in public, and I usually try to correct it. But that was when like he tried to wave over a busser
Mm-hmm.
because he was like concerned about like playing games, like what we were gonna do with his food or something, or he wanted to check like right now so we could immediately go play games. But he'd only eaten like a third of his salmon or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so he like starts waving over a busser, and I'm like, "Don't do that, please don't do that. Like, just wait for our waiter. Like, she's gonna come by like any minute." Of course, the busser's like already coming. The second she gets to the table, instead of being like, "Oh, never mind," he goes, like, "Can we get the check? And also, like, where can we put our food?" And I'm like, putting my hands to my head, and the busser's like, "Oh, I'll get your waiter. You can ask them." And then I'm like, "Dude, like, one, that's not her job. Like, two, they're not gonna store your leftovers here. Three, like, they're Dave and Buster's like trout leftovers. Like, you shouldn't even want that, really." Um, Waiter comes over. Sure enough, he asks the waiter anyway, like, "Hey, can we keep or can I keep my leftovers in your fridge?" And they're like, I'll ask if that's like a thing we do." And they're like, "No, we can't do that." And so he's like, "Oh, I'll just put it in your car." But this was
Oh
like it was like 95 degrees. Like, it was really
my
hot that day.
goodness.
So I'm like, "Dude, how long do you think we're gonna be here? How hot do you think my car is gonna get? Like, can you even imagine like wanting to eat that like once we get out of here?" Um, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to keep it. Like, I want to eat it." So I'm like, "You know what, dude? Like,
What?
I'm a big proponent of like letting people, just learn like
Fuck around
from
and
their own
find out.
actions." So I'm like, "All right, whatever, man. Like, my car will smell like fish for a day or two. Not that big of a deal." So he puts it in the backseat of my car. We play games and stuff. Nothing super of note to talk about there. But then, yeah, when we get back out to the car, we both get in, and I'm like, Gabriel, do you smell that? Like, does that smell good? Like, do you want to eat that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know if I will want to eat that." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, get it the fuck out of my car." And so he like gets out of the passenger seat, like opens the back door. He bends over to like grab it, and he starts he goes, "Ugh." Like the second he bends over just to pick it up, like he didn't even have it in his hands yet. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, and you just had that like in my car for 2 hours, like, and
My
you're considering
goodness.
like eating that, like." I was like, "Maybe you should listen to me when I say stuff like that." And there's been other instances of that as well. Like, one of the times when I was helping him with his front yard, he had just got like a weed whacker that was like cord powered.
Mm-hmm.
And so he didn't have an extension cord long enough. So I was like, "Oh, I'll take you to Ace and you can buy one." And we get there, and he's looking at like the 20 and 40 feet cords. I'm like, "Dude, there's no shot that's gonna reach like even the majority of your yard, or like even like a any significant portion of your yard. Like, that's not gonna be long enough." And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"No, I think it will." And I'm like, "Dude, just think about like you're standing on your front porch and like how far it is to the road. Like, that's all you have to do. Like, do you think that's 40 feet?" And I was like, do you even have an outlet there?" Like, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. It'll be fine." And I'm like,
Oh
"Okay,
my
dude,
god.
whatever."
So
So he doesn't
lazy.
get it. And then we show up and we start messing with his lawn, and like sure enough, the cord isn't long enough. And that interaction actually ended up with his neighbors like trimming up parts of his yard that like
Oh
he
really?
couldn't reach, because they were like conveniently for him, I inconveniently for me, just because I that's like rude. I don't like that. But
Hmm.
his neighbors are now like trimming up his edges of his yard.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the majority of the fish incident, you could
I
call it.
see. I see. And you mentioned his neighbors. We never really got into that. I think like at all. What do like do the neighbors know about him? Do they interact with him? Like, what's the story there?
So the only ones I've ever seen was his if you're like standing facing the road, like, actually maybe I shouldn't specify. Um, but the ones who helped him with his yard, it was like an older lady. She was extremely kind, and her two like grandchildren who are helping, I'm assuming, they were also very kind. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
they know anything about him.
I see. I see. Wow, that's I never really like heard anything about his neighbors. So,
That woman, very nice. Because another thing is like his outlet was so far away, which like obviously I don't know where all his outdoor outlets are. It was so far away that it couldn't reach any of his yard, so he had to like immediately ask to use his neighbor's outlet to mow or to trim his yard,
mm-hmm. Okay. So
which is like
they're
again just
just
like
friendly
I hate
neighbors.
inconveniencing people due to like ignorance. Like, oopsie, I fucked up something I like shouldn't have fucked up, and like now it's somebody else's problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see. Well, that's actually new, so very interesting information for me. Back to your little hangouts you guys had. Where did you usually go? What was the hangout spots, so to speak, for your guys' like friend group?
We went to dinner at least once, but it was mostly just two different arcades. It was like Dave and Buster's and then Triple Play is like a local like indoor family park. It's pretty sick actually. It's got like
Ooh.
water slides and mini golf and stuff. But that was the majority. It would be Dave and Buster's or Triple Play.
Mm-hmm. And you did go.
We would invite him all the time to other stuff. Like
Mm.
we invited him to Costa Rica one time. Like
Wow.
we said, hey, we'll pay for the ticket. Like you just have to show up.
Wow.
And I think his rebuttal was like, I don't have my star card or something.
Star card? Is that like a passport equivalent?
Yeah, yeah. Isn't I'm pretty sure that's what they call the like new IDs when you have a passport or whatever. You can
Ah,
like get a star card that has like I don't know something like that.
okay. I see.
Yeah, that was recent too. That was like a month or two ago. Or I think he said like, oh, I don't have my swim trunks or
What? You get offered on the
I offered to
exotic
buy him swim trunks
vacation.
too, because I'm like, dude, like
Wow.
if that's actually the reason, like who cares? Like whatever, I'll buy you swim trunks. I'll chill out the $10.
Wow. Jeez. And he said no to like a free exotic vacation?
Yeah, he did.
My goodness. Listen, my DMs are open next time you're planning another vacation. I'm
Yeah,
not playing.
that's fair.
I am playing. No, actually, no. I wouldn't be able to go. I don't have my star card, and I lost my swim trunks. So,
Yeah. Well, they only make like 10 pairs of swim trunks a year, so hopefully you win the lottery next year and you can get one.
yeah, it's like federally regulated or something. But you were talking to me earlier about the bowling alley. You guys went to the bowling alley, and
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I forgot about
yeah,
that.
no, and you went with some girls too. How did that go
No,
down?
the girls were there at the
Oh,
triple play,
oh,
but
okay.
I mean there were girls at the bowling alley we were talking to, but we didn't come with them. But
We
yeah, the
like,
bowling alley actually Nova invited us.
oh,
He was going with some other friends um, that were they appeared to be special needs. I'm not sure the exact relation how they
mm.
became friends. Um, and it's some people were throwing shade at me for my shorts and my outfits in those pictures. And it's funny you guys did that because uh, the only time my style was ever commented on by like Nova or any of his friends was they're at the bowling alley. One of his friends were like, "You look like a safari guy," because I'm wearing like the khaki like short inseam and the.
The dad fit.
So yeah, that was a poor choice. I'm
Mm.
learning. But yeah, so we went to the bowling alley with a couple of his friends, and it was specifically to do karaoke too. He didn't even want to bowl,
Oh.
which is whatever. The bar there is pretty cool. So
Mm-hmm.
we're hanging out, karaokeing, and then like within 10 minutes, we're like, "Where's Gabriel? Like he's just gone." And so we like do a quick lap around the bowling alley, and we see like, oh, he's eating. And so we like go back to the bar where they're doing the karaoke, which is like attached to the bowling alley. And like 10 minutes
Okay.
later, he shows up. We like do karaoke, we're hanging out, it's all fine and whatever. And then like 30 minutes later, he's gone again.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, we're like gonna just leave anyway. So we're assuming he maybe left or something, or I don't even know. So
Mm-hmm.
as we're walking out, we go past like the concessions again, and like sure enough, he's eating again. And
Again.
so,
And how long
well, so
was
this is where there's some debate. There's some
uh-huh.
debate within our friend group and with him
Uh-huh.
because he claims that it was the same teriyaki burger, but that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
make sense to me because if that was true, that would mean he left his teriyaki burger unattended on a random bowling alley table for like 30 minutes. Like, because the bar is like not like you do not have a visual on that table from where we were, like not even close. So it's either he like ordered another teriyaki burger and lied about it, or he's like letting his food just like sit out in the open for like 30 minutes. And so I
Mm.
addressed him about that too. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, not super great either way. Like, just curious. Because this was also during the same period of time where we were like trying to make sure he's not like overeating and stuff. So,
Mm.
but I never really got a clear answer. One of my friends insists that he is assured that he ate more than one burger with fries, but Nova is adamant that he only ate the one. But
Mm.
again, that's still kind of gross if true.
So who do you believe?
Again, I don't. When it comes to things like that, I just stop really. I don't try to like try to know for sure. I just accept that like it's a little vague.
Well, that seems like the
Yeah.
easiest path forward. My goodness.
Like maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's kind of strange.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned earlier, there were some girls you guys were talking to. You brought some friends along, female friends, to triple whatever it was. How
Yeah,
did
yeah,
Nova
triple.
kind
Yeah.
of like interact with them?
So yeah, he like we introduced them. They like talked for like a sentence, and then he was like locked into the coin games. And that was pretty much it. And that brings me back to like he was like yelling. Like we would have to tell him like, "Hey man, you're being like really loud," and there were like kids all around us. Like it's like let's go like every time we hit the jumbo, which like dude, I'm glad you're excited and having fun. That's great. That's what it's about. But just be a little cognizant of the people around you. But
Goodness.
yeah, he that was the first time because there was at one point he like walked away to play some other game,
Mm-hmm.
and the two girls were like, "What's wrong with his legs?" And I'm like,
Oh,
"What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Yeah, his legs are like red and blue on the back of his calves." And I was like, "I've
ooh,
literally never noticed that."
wow.
Which is once I saw that, that was another concern of ours is like, that's not good. Like you're suddenly losing a lot of weight, your hygiene's really bad, you have like sores like popping up all over your arms, and now like your legs are just like getting blue, and like you have a history of diabetes in your family. Like, are you not
Oh,
seeing the issue here? But he just
oh.
doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
So, do you think that's why he's been losing so much weight?
I mean, I'm no doctor, but like that's the only
It,
thing that makes sense to me. Like,
okay. Yeah.
it doesn't seem like he's cutting his sugar intake. It doesn't seem like he's ever cut his calories.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely not more active than he was before. If anything, he's this is like the least active he's ever been.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Yeah, you
so it's
said
like,
something
and I
about like. Sorry, go ahead.
nah, go for it.
All right. You said something about there were like periods of time where he like couldn't stand.
Yeah, he would because again, it was relevant for like the shower stuff because I was concerned like is he not showering because he like physically can't stand because there'd be points where he would say like you know I like haven't been able to like really get up for like a day and a half, and I'm like dude like dude, is that like, do you not see how that's not good?
My
Like,
goodness, a
why?
day
Like,
and a
why?
half. He just couldn't get up. He just
Yeah,
sat down
it
really.
wouldn't be just his legs. It was basically, it was like his arms this would happen as well.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
and I don't feel great about like divulging this, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, like when you have someone who's like trying to be a public feature or figure, I mean,
Yeah.
and they're trying to, get praise for like them losing weight, like I have to feel like this information is relevant to everybody, and I think it's a little
Mm-hmm.
disingenuous to like be like, oh, look at all these successes, but at the same time, like my body is, shutting down, arguably.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, that is just mind-boggling. And he just never paid any concern to it. As soon as he's able to move again, he just goes on with his life.
I mean, if you can call it that. I think if I don't know if I would consider that going on with your life, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it never really seemed to bother him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it's just like once he can like move to the best of like to the degree that he thinks is acceptable, like it's out of his mind. It seems.
Jeez Louise. Wow. Sorry. Oh my goodness. That's
And
just.
all this stuff is like humorous just because of the insanity of it. But like, I truly do wish all of these issues go away for him. Like, even though like he's done bad things, even though like he has extremely questionable past, and even though like
Mm-hmm.
he's deserving of a lot of the negative feelings people have towards him. Like, I hope
Uh-huh.
someday like all this can go away and he can be like a healthy, functioning human. But you know,
Of course, as long as the children are safe. He does have a therapist. Do you know anything about like the sessions they have? Does he tell you anything about it?
there is I almost the things he would tell me. I don't really these things I don't want to super divulge. I would say the things he's told me he's talked about in therapy did not seem productive at all. But also maybe that's just because he would only tell me about the things that were interesting to him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he had a lot of extremely productive therapy sessions, but the ones he would mention to me seemed not productive at all.
Okay.
Which I should also say was only like a handful.
Do you mind kind of going into what he talked about with his therapist?
Just like super not even related to mental health stuff.
Like TikTok or.
I'm gonna message you it just because it's.
Okay, yeah, I understand. It's someone's medical information. Ah, of course. Oh my goodness. Okay. So he has a therapist. Does he have a doctor as far as you know? Because there's no way he's going about the way he is with like under the care of a medical professional.
I don't know. I'm not aware if he has a
Hmm.
like a doctor that he sees frequently.
Okay.
I would assume no, but I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
don't really know.
Yeah. He uploaded a video maybe a month or two ago. I think a month ago, around a month ago, at a doctor's appointment, like on the scale to prove the haters like he lost weight. So hopefully he's getting treatment. I'd assume not. My goodness. You don't mind if I read some super
No, no,
chats and
please go
I have
ahead. Yeah,
some
you don't gotta ask.
questions. They give the five soup. The attempt threats to minors while sitting in the Predicord noose is crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you were there for that. I was saying, what if while he was, why the paracord was wrapped around his wrist, he was like on his phone messaging like his Discord kittens, saying, this is it. Yeah, it's really morbid, but just like because of how obviously like he didn't mean it and like the absurdity of it, it's I just find it funny.
I
And
mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but again, it seems like a lot of his positive behavior is, um, I don't know. There's like an underlying. It just seems kind of performative,
oops.
but again, it's hard to tell with him just because again, it's like where's the line of like maliciousness versus
Hmm.
ignorance.
Yeah, that's very unclear with Nova. They give the five rat flowers. The name Gabriel Gage sounds like the name of a one-off JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character. He does have an interesting name, especially his full name. I don't know why he has what, like three middle names? Is that common at all? I don't know.
I didn't even know he had three middle names.
Yeah, Michael Lee Scrivener.
How rich do you got to be to have three middle names?
Obviously not very rich if he does. Uh,
Maybe he's a mover and a shaker. He's just hiding.
that's one way. That's one way of looking
It's
at
all a
it.
ploy.
Evil plot. Thank you for the five, Jesse. It's funny to imagine Nova whispering "Twinkle, twinkle, little star" under his breath, waiting for the Nova Core to take effect. Jeez, you guys are crazy, insane. I mean, funny, of course, but they give the two being Nova leg amputation arc when. Wow. I hope it never comes to that. I do hope there's a jail arc, but given what we know about his health, there's a possibility. They give the two Onabligo. Bro squeezing wrists and having wheezing fits. Come on, dude. Thank you for the five, Jimmy. Noah's been real quiet in everyone's comment sections when the No Files arc started. Yeah. Because there's not really anything you can say to that. It's just it's just there. He says it's fake to his Discord servers or whatever. Doesn't really give any information. Just says, oh, it's fake. It's not like there's hours of footage, but whatever. Thank you for the two on a God damn it, on a Blago. What if we ate Dave and Buster's fish together? Sounds very romantic. Thank you for the other two. Chome Alone 2. Lost in Costa Rica. Man, I might have to send him a production offer. Maybe he wants to make that movie with me. You ever seen Alvin and the Chipmunks where they like get lost on that island? I think that's kind of like it's gonna be like
I wasn't
that, but
allowed to
with
watch
no.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh, I'm
My
sorry to
mom
hear
said it
that.
was satanic.
Satan. Okay,
Yeah,
that's an interesting
chipmunks
perspective.
can't talk. Not good.
Yeah, that is true. They can't talk. Thank you to Nicole. Off to bed. Keep up the great work, you both. Thank you very much, Nicole. Thank you for the two Saul. I love you. Okay,
Something else I want to bring up or
appreciate
maybe
that.
reiterate
Yeah,
is
let's
that
hear it.
like I don't think I would. I mean, if any of you remember the phone call over there, I don't think I'd be talking here right now if he just took my advice and like got off the internet. But the
Hmm.
fact that he is trying to just like act as if nothing happened and like still get financial and like social support from people while like never addressing these like extremely serious things, like there's really no way for me to justify like not you know having
Yeah.
this conversation.
No, yeah, I absolutely get that. That's very fair to say. And yeah, dude, he just didn't mention it at all. Thank you for the two Cuban missile. Nova has the dignity hidden deep in his fourth chin. Oh my god.
Ooh, I have
You,
another lore drop that I don't think has been brought up yet.
oh, I'm so excited. Let's hear it.
So the if you guys remember the like milkman video with like the 17 gallons of milk,
Oh.
that was us just doing a little prank on Nova, and I can prove it because no one's ever pointed this out. But if you look at the like first couple of frames of the video, you can like see me with my like phone covering my face like over the back seat of the car. So that's also some lore
My
of the
goodness.
17 gallons of milk was, but that was just a harmless little prank. So I didn't feel too bad about that.
Do you want to tell us a bit about that or
I mean, have you seen that video?
No, I know, but like I guess the story what kind of made you guys like what brought up the idea, what, made you guys do
We,
it?
we were just really bored one day and like couldn't think of anything to do and like, oh, what if we like originally it was gonna be like watermelons, but I was like, that's not that funny.
And
So I just dropped them.
yeah, apparently they were like expired, almost expired.
Yeah, it was I think we spent like $10 because it was all like a day from being expired.
Wow.
So we didn't waste food either, so nobody get jaded about that.
Well, that's good. That is good. Does he know it was you?
No.
No. I guess he's finding out now.
Yeah,
Wow.
now he does.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, out of all the things, that's probably I hope the bottom of the list of things he's upset with me about. But at the same time, like, I don't even understand how he could be upset with me because, again, it's like, what's the expectation? Like, he expects me, like, he knows me fairly well at this point. Like, he wants me to just, like, hear all the stuff that just happened and just, like, be okay with it and just support him. Like a
Mm,
friend isn't somebody who just allows you to, like, do all these terrible things. Like, there's supposed to be a person who, like, holds you accountable. So
hmm.
it's like, by getting upset with me, he's just showing that like he doesn't want a friend. He just wants somebody who like
A
will give
yes
him a free
man.
pass on whatever he wants. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And Perk brings up a good question, and thank you for the two. Do you know about the wall, the poop wall, the blood wall,
I've
whatever it is?
seen the wall. I've never
Yeah.
asked about the wall. I've talked a lot about his the cleanliness of his house in general, but I do
Hmm.
not know why the wall is like that.
And apparently, well, the most common theory is that he like smears bed bugs onto the wall because it's right above his bed, right where his head is on his bed, and we've seen like bed bugs crawling on him in videos and whatnot. Did you know he has bed bugs? Has he ever talked about it?
No, yeah, I've brought it up to him before because like anytime, basically anytime he would post a video where like there would be something in it that's like obvious to most other people. The cooking video is a big example of like so many people are pointing out how there's flies all over the meat, but like he still posted it. And there's like other videos where you can see like bugs crawling in and out of his clothes or like over his pillow. And I remember we had a conversation about that one time where I was like, dude, like what the fuck? Like why? Like is this acceptable? And I asked him, I was like, how often are you changing your like or washing your pillowcase and sheets? And I don't know if you remember his response to that. Do you?
No, no, no.
His
Who's?
his response was, "I don't have a pillowcase or sheets."
Oh my God! Right. Yeah, he just raw
Um,
dogs is sleeping. He has no sheets or pillowcase. It's just like the bare, like whatever the mattress and pillow.
yeah, and I was like, and that's another thing. I was like, dude, like how, like it's not like they're expensive. Like just like again, life is not easy, but it is simple. Like get fucking like you need sheets on your bed.
He just doesn't care though.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, you can make one 40-second cameo and have enough to buy bed sheets and pillowcase. God, man. I just wow. Um, are there any other lore drops you have that you haven't told everyone about? I can't think of any off the top of my head that you've told me.
Um, let's see.
Because I mean, there was a lot that went on,
I mean,
to
there are
say the
those.
least.
I think those videos are pretty funny.
Which of it? Oh, the
Those are pretty.
cameos.
No, no, the one where like the ones my brother took, where he says
Ah,
that
right,
that
right.
funny thing. Let me see if I can find the exact one. I'll send it.
If you have ones you want me to send, you can put it in the server, and I'll go ahead and I'll put it up, play it up on screen for everybody.
Yeah, one sec. Let me find it.
If you could find the one where he says like, "Can you come over?" Oh wait, no, not that one.
Why not that one? That was the one I was gonna share.
Well, your name's in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
good point. Good point. Yeah, I'll probably give that or maybe
W
post that later.
Bloodspeth.
W Bloodsport saving my life.
Mhm. Yeah, you don't know. You know how
Um,
Nova is. That little
besides
conniving.
there's those texts we haven't gone over, the ones that you have in the server.
Oh yeah, those are long. So I think we can go over a few of those. Let me go ahead and pull those up right quick,
I think
chat.
the dieting and shower one is like gives the best picture of what type
Hmm.
of stuff he was doing.
Hmm. And you're sure that like it's all censored, the texts?
Yeah, I censored them and then went back through them. They should be good.
All right, cool, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up on stream here. Da, da, da. Cover off. So chat, these are like a transcriptions of the text. I've seen the full ones. Um, and here's the DoorDash thing we talked about earlier. So his phone's on One Health. He got a kid's rib loaded with the loaded mashers, a pork ribeye with French fries and a side Caesar salad, and a kid's mac and cheese with beans. $40. So yeah, he's a hungry fella. So we're gonna go ahead and look through the first ones. Do you want to like do like a double reading? Maybe like I do Nova and you can do you can do you can do
Sure.
yourself. All
Sure.
right. So start off with Nova Robot. What's that one about?
I don't remember. Can you
Uh,
do the? Oh, this
yeah.
is just like yeah. This one is just me talking to him about like how he compares himself to other people, and that's kind of how he. If you hit the little like expand button, you can see the whole thing in
View
the
whole
bottom
file.
right.
There you go. All right. Are you received from my girlfriend and I need this? That was him.
Yeah, yeah. So it should
Okay.
just yeah sent and received.
All right. I'll start us off. My girlfriend and I need this. Since a TikTok video. Video of one of those pet camera robots that can drive around and be spoken through remotely. Okay.
No offense, but could that maneuver through your house? Don't you have like a lot of stuff everywhere?
It's not like a hoarder house. It's not as bad as what you see on hoarders.
Aren't your counters like stacked up foot high with stuff? Hoarder houses aren't something you should really be trying to compare your house to. That's not the bar.
I'm trying to clean my house, but every time I do it, it gets messy again. I've lived like this my whole life. Jesus.
So what's the problem? Why does this keep happening, Gabriel?
I can't be consistent.
And what are you doing about it? What actual efforts have you put in that has produced results? And then, what's up? There's a
Oh,
2 hour gap there.
okay. Oh, was that you trying to call me?
Yeah. You busy?
I'm sorry, your contact is an autosave and it didn't show up in my phone.
No worries, my plans just fell through. Want to work on your yard?
What do you mean?
I'm free is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I'll get the battery charged up. For his weed whacker? Oh,
Your
yes.
weed whacker all charged up? Dude, what? Yeah, so this was me a little upset because we've been talking about like me helping with his yard for like days. And now it's like day of and he's like, oh, my shit isn't even ready.
Are you serious? Oh my god. Well, one of the batteries is fully charged, the other one still needs to.
Why isn't it charged?
I only have one charger.
Okay, that's pretty much the text besides you can come over, but my mom doesn't want you inside. There's like,
She said she's embarrassed by the state of the house.
which
Okay.
again, it's like, then why aren't they doing anything about it? Like, why? I don't know. It really, I think it just paints a picture of like, in their minds, they're just like compartmentalizing it and like hiding all these things.
Yeah, and Nova said he's lived like this his whole life, which kind of paints a much clearer picture. All right, on
I don't,
to
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I think Nova dieting and showering is a pretty good one.
Oh my goodness. All right, Nova Lawn. What's this one about?
I think that's him asking me to help him with his lawn.
All right,
Yeah.
start us off. I have a question.
Yeah? What was your question, man? Is everything good?
That's like a 12-hour, or my goodness, he just didn't fucking. No, that's like 14, 15 hours. He just didn't answer you. My goodness.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It was like whenever he wanted a friend, like I was there. When he wanted to do whatever, it was like that. I didn't exist.
Sounds so fucking annoying. Yeah, I actually have a friend like that. Doesn't answer the group chat. Thinks he's better than us. I get it. He's not quite like Nova in some regards, but maybe. But that's besides the point. Yeah, everything's fine. I just wanted to know if you could help me with some of the big weeds around my yard sometime.
What exactly do you need help with?
You know those big weeds and the planters? The ones you said needed a machete or something like that?
I don't know, man. I've been trying to hang out with you or play games with you for weeks, and you kind of just blow me off every time. Oh God,
How do
I can't. How do I scroll?
It sounds like.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go. Oh, there
Like
you
you
go.
don't.
Yeah,
It's
it
press the
sounds like
right
you don't
arrow
actually
key.
want to be friends. You just want me to do things for you.
That's a good point. I've been hella busy lately, is all.
I can drive you wherever you need to go and stuff you need for sure. With what?
Family wants me to do stuff around the house.
Like what? What did your family ask you to do that took up multiple weeks? I'm not upset or anything, but I think maybe you're misrepresenting your use of your time.
They've been wanting me to clean up the house.
You've been cleaning your house for 2 weeks straight.
Well, not the whole time, no. I've had therapy as well some days, so I've also been doing that.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to be friends with you, but it feels like you're just using me. This hurts considering it feels like I put a lot of selfless effort into our friendship.
I'm not using you, I'm just bad with time management.
So why don't you try to work on that instead of ignoring your friends until you want something? How would you feel if I did that to you?
Yeah, you did say I needed to improve on myself. This can be part of it.
Yeah, so that was also really irritating. Him saying like, "Oh, yeah, I'll be improving if you like help me with my yard." What can be a part of it?
Selfish. I didn't even like think about this like kind of aspect of you guys, like him using you for what's it called, labor and stuff. I mean, I remember seeing.
That was not something I thought would happen.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I remember seeing a video. Some dude came to his house and was like, "Oh, I'm doing free yard work. Would you like me to?" And then Nova denied it. So yeah. Do you want to keep reading it or move on?
Nova, when I came to help with your yard the first time, you left and I ended up doing the large majority of it alone. Me doing more of your chores won't help you at all. It'll reinforce your bad time management because you think you can just shove your responsibilities to someone else who's trying to help you. I'm trying to support you and help you improve, but it seems like you're just ignoring it. You have to make a choice about what type of life you want to live and what person you want to become.
My
Or
goodness.
to be, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. To be, because at this rate it looks like you will be stuck in this way of life indefinitely. Can you imagine that? What happens when your mother's gone? Don't you see the situation you're in, Gabriel?
And he just didn't respond. Fucking gosh.
Yeah, he didn't respond.
It sounds so obnoxious to deal
But,
with.
but yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's not like I'm not being hyperbolic when I'm saying like I'm bringing up these like very important issues with how he thinks like frequently. Like
Mm-hmm.
he just doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. I can tell that. I can tell. All right, next up is Nova dieting and showering dot text. That sounds like a very, very interesting one. Let's see here. All right, you're gonna have to start us off here.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for the invite last night. Me and T had a lot of fun. I was just wondering how many of those burgers you had there. T said you had at least two, and then it looked like you got a third one right before we left. He also said you had eaten earlier. I'm not trying to make you feel bad or shame you. You're my friend, but you have seemingly gained a lot of weight since I met you, and I think it's because of your eating habits like that. You can't live like this, Gabriel. You aren't going to make it to old age like this, but it's not, and it's worrying.
Wow. Wow. It says I only had one burger. I hadn't eaten earlier. That's all he has to say about
Oh,
it.
well, that's good. Regardless, you have gained a lot of weight the past few months, it seems, probably due to all the food reviews you've been doing. Do you DoorDash or Uber Eats a lot?
Oh, hold on. I think I'm stupid. Okay, okay.
Hello? Are you ignoring me or did you miss my message? I know it's not something you want to hear, but I'm worried about you, bro.
And that was 7 hours later. And then he immediately responds, I missed the message. I was half asleep. And then he just
And
doesn't respond to
then,
that.
and then 7 hours later, hey dude, what's up?
Um, so about Friday, I have no idea where my swim trunks are.
I'll buy you some, no biggie. I'm in Discord. I wanted to ask about your most recent video.
The Novacord video?
The ones from today. Your hair looked good. I was wondering what you did different. So this is me trying to positively reinforce good hygiene habits.
Hmm. I use Head and Shoulders. I shampooed my hair real good. You there? So as soon as you're like complimenting him, that's when he wants to fucking double text and like talk to you. But when you're giving him real advice, he just kind of disappears. My goodness.
How did the rest of your games go? I don't remember. I think he was playing Fortnite or something.
Uh, I won the rest of the ones I did. Sure, bud.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh my god. It was fun. Bunch of personal info. Hair appointment is that one.
Hey, just wanted to make sure you shower today and wear clean clothes to triple play.
I'll make sure I'm presentable. I'm wearing clean clothes right now.
Make sure you shower.
I
Because I
will, don't
noticed that
worry.
he didn't specify. He didn't say he would shower. He just said, I'm presentable. And so I was like, oh, he's trying to get out of showering.
Jeez, that's like, it sounds so dystopian. I don't know, dystopian. It sounds so like weird. He's trying to get out of showering. My goodness.
I mean, I don't know if that's what he was doing, but I was just trying to make sure that's not, he wouldn't try to do that.
I will, don't worry. What time are you picking me up again?
Not sure yet. Me and T are both busy right now until at least 1. Probably mid to late afternoon, like I said.
Can you call me when you're coming to pick me up?
Sure.
You still up?
Yeah.
I'm just bored. Bored.
Oh, I'm hella busy with something and I'm gonna go to bed right after. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm not mad. Maybe we could talk while you're working. Jesus.
I just finished. I can talk for a bit.
Hop in the Discord.
And then
I'm sure you
this is the next morning. Good morning, dude. Have a productive and healthy day for me, okay?
Got it.
What's up? I won't be able to talk for a while, but I can text. He must have called me or something. You
okay.
good?
Free for the next
I'm
one.
free for the next hour and a half if you want to call.
Sure.
They sent an image, a DoorDash drop off. 4-piece chicken strip basket with gravy, cheese curds, and geez, that is a lot of fucking calories.
This is what I got.
This does not show me what you got.
Yeah, it does if you tap the picture. I made sure it does.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
But yeah, I'm kind of ashamed of it.
Dude, what the hell? Cheese curds and a large strawberry shake?
That's why I'm ashamed. I didn't need to do that much.
I know. I don't know why you lie to me. It's obvious why. I don't believe you for a second. You keep forgetting. You know what you're doing. You just don't care. You know that meal is close to 3,000 calories by itself, Nova?
Jeez. I want some chicken right now, low key. Alright, let's finish this up. So, I'm kidding.
Let me look at the nutritional facts real quick.
The milkshake alone is 800 calories and full of sugar. You know that.
Holy shit, that's close to 2,000.
Why would you consume that? It's 100% over 2,000. Just the basket and cheese curds is approximately 2,000 calories, and I'm sure you had other food and drinks throughout the day. You're eating yourself to death. How are you gonna hold how are you gonna hold a job down when you can't even stand on your own 2 feet for an extended period of time?
Please censor that word next time. It's very sensitive to
A
me.
job?
No, I'm playing. I mean, Nova's probably watching, so, he doesn't very much like that word.
I can, it just hurts sometimes.
So, when he can stand, it hurts. Wow.
Again, Nova, if you are watching
He
and this
is.
is all frustrating you, it's not me doing this. This is all you. These are your feelings that you feel, how you think about yourself. If you don't like this, if you don't like people knowing about this, then it's up to you to change. It's not up to everyone else to just allow you to like hide all these little things about yourself, to like act as if you're doing all this improvement when you're not. Like, as humanity as a whole has a duty to like hold you accountable so you don't just rot. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I hope you can minimize your aggression or negative feelings towards me, like to some extent, because again, I'm not doing this to hurt you, dude. I'm doing this because you're in a bad
Mm-hmm.
fucking spot. And if that hasn't become apparent to you yet, like maybe it never will, but
I don't think so. If you
be
ask
honest
me,
with me. Is the reason you don't shower regularly because standing in the shower or the act of washing yourself feels like too much work?
No, that's one of the goals with my counselor. I want to shower more.
okay, so
Then
it's
why don't you?
My goal is 3 to 4 times a week if you're curious.
jeez.
Why are you ordering close to 3K calories of food at night after your mom told you to spend less money and all your friends are telling you to consume healthier foods? That's not good, dude. You need to be showering every day.
I should be, yeah, after where I reach my current goal, that's my next goal. Thanks for the idea.
What do you mean reach? You don't do anything all day. You have zero excuse not to shower. Why do you feel like it's okay to lie and withhold truth from your friends?
So he just doesn't address like the real question and just like the sub question.
Well, I'm not lying to you right now.
But you have been consistently since I've known you, and you've lied to me about your eating habits and hygiene habits multiple times. And the things we just talked about prove it. I'm supposed to be your friend, dude. You shouldn't treat me like this.
I think I know what my problem is.
Yeah, and what's that, Gabriel?
I think it's the fact that it's a habit and I have to break it, and I'm ashamed of the way I live. Are you there?
Obviously not ashamed enough the entire world telling you need to change because the way you live is disgusting, and your response is to lie and let me and your mother down. Do you think the internet has the wrong idea about you? Because the internet thinks you don't shower, you eat unhealthy, you're bad with money, extremely lazy, extremely rude, and I don't see how you could reasonably believe that all of that is false.
Damn.
Do you want to be good? Do you want to prove everyone wrong and make your friends and family proud? Why do you lower yourself to a level most people would call unhuman?
I don't want to say it's my depression, but I don't know if that's the reason or not.
Anyone who lives like you would be depressed, but instead of fixing it, you keep buying Pokemon packs, spending money frivolously, eating extremely unhealthy, not even showering. How often are you brushing your teeth?
Oh my god.
I'm probably not gonna eat anything else the rest of the night.
Which this was sent, what, at almost almost
Like
10
6
p.m.
or it's 8, but yeah.
or 8. Okay, it's military time. Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
pog.
Oh my god. Good job, Nova. You ate 3,000 calories worth of fast food, but you're not going to eat anything else for the rest of the 4 hours of the night. My goodness.
All right, I don't know what you've eaten altogether today, nor do I have confidence in your ability to follow through, but I hope you make healthy decisions the rest of the night.
Is that like how low the bar really was for him? Like you can't even trust him to not eat even more for the next few hours
Well, it's
after.
like, no, because that big DoorDash thing, if I remember right, that was at like close to midnight that he ordered like 3,000 calories of food. So it's like,
Jeez, dude.
yeah, he totally has it, like he has the capacity to do that.
Oh god. I just it's comical but sad.
The rice is all I've eaten today. If I do eat something else today, I'll just have some fruit.
Okay. Then sent a picture of a half drank Snapple, which those have quite a bit of sugar. Had this at the party. Images from a calorie counting app that shows 500 calories worth of chili with cheese and cornbread. That's definitely more than that.
Good work logging it. You didn't have any chips or soda at the party? Any alcohol?
I had a handful of honey barbecue chips and a Mike's Hard, but that's it.
Like Jesus.
So that's an extremely significant amount of calories and sugars. What's up? Or he must have called me. What's up? Give me a sec. I'm busy.
I was just calling to explain what was going on with Mom, but I already explained it in the Discord. Are you not out of jujitsu yet? Mom wanted me to cook her dinner first, then I'll take a shower.
Dude, you said you'd shower at 5:30. It's been over 3 hours already. Whatever, man.
Just got out of the shower.
Let's go. Now make that TikTok. Show the world you're changing.
I already made it.
Haha, just watched it. Nice. The comments are already looking supportive.
It felt so refreshing.
Nice. Yeah, make sure you say it out loud. The positive feelings you felt while taking the shower and also the positive benefits that will come. Oh god, come from this new habit. I'm serious. Say them out loud a few times. You need to positively reinforce your behavior, and speech is very powerful. Dude, all the comments are so nice. I'm trying to read them all. I was thinking about that's received, my bad.
I was thinking about getting another popular TikToker on the journey, but I don't know.
So you just ignored the shower stuff and moved on. Okay.
Well, I mean, he's saying he wants to get this person on the shower journey.
Oh, okay.
So I
Pardon
say
me.
who? Careful with that.
Kevin Crow, he's an emo TikToker.
So you just like
Why
suggesting other people to shower who take to
I don't
take sh-
really. I mean, I don't really know what the fuck his plan. I mean, you'll read the rest of this.
Okay,
It seems like, why him? He seems like a regular dude with decent hygiene.
Because we follow each other on TikTok.
I would not do that.
I figured he could be motivation.
No, dude, that's odd.
Yeah, that's why I decided against it.
Do whatever you want, but I would advise against it.
Then 3 hours later.
He's still awake?
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing much. Just taking all the comments I received.
What do you think about them?
It's a lot of positivity. I've never seen that much on my page.
Like I said, I know it would be like this. Most people are good.
And the initial video started to go viral.
That's crazy. When do you think you'll post day 2? What time? Hey Nova, I just saw your new video. I wanted to comment on is that a lot of people watch your old videos and make fun of you and to laugh at you. So that's something to consider if you're deciding whether or not to post your old drafts.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about though. It's like why I would do it all over again. It's because like I know now that like, you know, I've given him positive reinforcement. He's like seen how people respond when he like moves his life in a positive direction. Like he's gotten excited from the results. He just like doesn't care like past that.
Yeah, it's like a one-time thing, and then he's more comfortable living in his current filth and bad health. Jeez Louise. All right, then we have Nova Scope out. This is assume it's about
This is
Dave
the
and
Dave and
Buster's.
Buster thing.
Right.
Yeah, I think we pretty much talked about it. It's not really worth looking at, I don't think.
All right,
Yeah, those are those.
Mhm.
And really, again, those are just the ones that I thought highlighted the how our relationship kind of functioned.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any other screenshots or videos you want me to pull up on screen or a stream?
I think just the ones you have that would probably need to be like censored
Yeah,
partially.
so I was thinking I'll probably do like a video later on and put everything
Do you
together
want to
concisely.
do rapid fire chatter questions?
Yeah, I was about to go ahead and do that. I feel bad. I feel like I'm neglecting everyone.
I know,
Um,
sorry guys.
all right, thank you for the 5 soup. Nova and the Discord Kittens Chomrek. That's another good movie title. Thank you for the 567. Of course, Mosky. W Stream Study, Wuddy Bloody Chew. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I don't know how I feel about that nickname though. Thank you for the 2. That one idiot. Gabriel Gage.
Novish.
Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to
The
cut you off.
squeezer.
You should probably do the super chatters first.
All right. Thank you for the 5 Cuban Missile. Nova should try the Paragord thing. Okay, can't read that. Thank you for the 5 Samantha. A set of sheets and pillowcases are $15 a Dollar General cheap. He's too disgusting with DoorDash and Amazon crap like his wall. Oh god, that wall, dude. Thank you for the 5. That one idiot. Has Nova ever complained about any people making videos on him to you?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
It was more of like a flavor of the week thing. He'd like think he'd highlight like one YouTuber at a time and like talk about them for a week, and then like he'd move on. So it was like he would really only address one at a time in our conversations.
Has he
Somebody said
mentioned?
something that reminded me of something kind of funny. Somebody asked about his fashion sense. Where did it go? Something about his fashion sense. I think I've addressed it a few times how like the way he dresses isn't what most people would call presentable, like wearing basketball shorts and a t-shirt all the time, like the same 3. But I remember like a couple months into us hanging out, I was like talking about like, dude, you could do so many like funny things, and I have kind of a cool car, so I was like, we could do a video, or you could do a video where you like, have you ever seen that Christian video where it's like, I tricked you all, I was never autistic, like the Christian good ending?
I think I recognize that. Yeah.
So I was like, we could do one of those, and we could like have you in my car, and you could like act like it's yours and like drive away or something, and you could be like, and I was like, we could go to like Zoomies or like some fucking or like Zara or something and get you like a actually good outfit.
Wow.
And I was like, just think about it. You don't have to, just something to consider, like video ideas like that, because they'd probably get a lot of traction, which I think is true. I think if he did that, it would get like millions of fucking views. Anyway, so like 2 days later, he messages or he calls me, and he's like, hey, I've been thinking about that video idea you had about me driving your car. And I was like, yeah, what do you think? And he's like, I think it would be cool if I did that and I had like a leather jacket with spikes on it. And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Yes. And he was like, why would that be hilarious? And I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
wait, so you like genuinely think a leather jacket with spikes on it is cool? I was like, no, dude,
It's
that
corny.
would not be looked at as cool.
Oh my god. Must have been heartbroken to hear that.
I mean, I hope if he wants one, I hope he gets one. Maybe he can pull it off.
Maybe. We'll never know. And what is it? The Tesla? That gold Tesla?
No,
Like
that's
the-
not my car.
Oh.
But I have a STI.
Does Nova like cars?
Not really.
No. I mean, clearly, he doesn't even have a license.
Alice and his love for femboys. I just recently learned about his theoretical love for femboys, and all that info comes from like that Discord, so I can't really corroborate any of
Yeah.
that. So he's never really brought it up. Really, anything to do with like attraction, sexuality, relationships, like it was never really talked a whole lot about.
Yeah, I assume he would avoid that question. Thank you for the 14 Canadian dollars. Cool. Fieldstones. Surprised the house hasn't been deemed condemnable by the city if they're renting, but he's alone, showing the house estate can have him and his mother evicted. It's just they don't really care about Nova, the police. I guess after everything, apparently so there were some swatting attempts. I mean, if you want to tell them about that.
Yeah, I don't think we were friends the first time he got swatted. I mean, obviously swatting's terrible, but I don't know. It sounds like the attempts that happened after that were more of a formality than anything. just basically a
They're just
conversation
showing
at the
up.
door with the
Okay.
police. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the 5. That one idiot. Seeing him blaming everything wrong with his life on his depression pisses me off. Stop using mental health as an excuse. Yeah. I know people who are depressed and autistic and all that. Like they're not this bad. It's a him issue. Thank you for the 5. Soup. Please don't be too hard on yourself. You tried your best to help him get better, to change. You were a good friend, great friend, and still trying to help him now.
I appreciate that, Soup.
Thank you for the 5. Hitronic. I was one of the people who made a video on Nova and got the internet anarchist's attention. Has he ever brought me up?
What I don't really know a whole lot about Alice. Basically nothing, because we weren't really talking a whole lot that week, and then Bloodspeth sent me all the stuff about the Discord, and at that point I was like, okay, this is over. So it wasn't me asking questions about Alice was like not a priority at all. So sadly, I cannot speak on basically any of that. But I mean, I did talk to him. I was like, because it doesn't make sense. I'm like, again, if any of you remember the call, he's trying to paint a picture that he was being, basically manipulated or held hostage to be in this server.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how can that be possible if you're like having friends like this? Like, and also why, like, the whole point of me being friends with him was so he could have like a voice of reason that he could access at any time. Who can like give him like actually, yeah, sorry about my cat, guys. He hates Nova, I guess. He fucking hates Nova.
Yes, it'll be archived.
But I was like, so you're telling me you're getting like threats against your friend's life, and you're not gonna like tell like your closest IRL friend and like confide in them, like ask for advice. So again, the whole thing just doesn't really make sense.
Mm-hmm. My goodness, dude. What was I gonna ask? Shit. Yeah. Do you want to kind of talk about what happened with? I'm not sure if everyone here has listened to the phone call. If you want to kind of explain what happened there and lead up.
Yeah. So basically, it was just. I mean, the call will be posted at some point, correct? Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry, guys, it'll be there someday. But yeah, the call is basically just the last time I talked to Nova, just confronting him about all the terrible stuff he was involved in, all the things that he said he would never involve himself in, and really the gist of it is, he didn't have an answer for any of the behavior. He was kind of talking in circles, like I joined the server because like I was manipulated into it, but then when asked, like, then why are you, like, staying in there when all these things are coming out about it? And there's just no answer. He tries to, like, shift the timeline around, saying that, like, oh, I was only in there for a few hours, but it's like, but the video paints a completely different picture. Yeah, but for the most part, he just didn't really answer any of the questions. He didn't have a rebuttal for anything. It was just, like, him listening, which, I mean, that's not technically an omission of guilt, but I mean, how many people, if somebody was talking to me and they're like, there's this mix up, people are saying you're like in this fucked up Discord server, it's like, I'm not going to be silent. Like, that's the last thing I'm going to do.
And yeah, and plus with, all the screenshots and all that, yeah, I mean, there's really no defense. I think that's why. Maybe he saw a law show that said, always remain silent. That he's kind of taken that to heart with everything.
I mean, I doubt it. I think.
No, I know.
I think it's probably just he doesn't have an answer for these questions. I think, again, it's either maybe it's ignorance and he's not even aware of the decisions he's making, or maybe it is like malicious and he's trying to use ignorance to cover it up to avoid responsibility. But if he had got it off the internet, which I think is the best thing he can do at this point, like there's no way, like, he already had problems from like the shit in the past. Like, I just can't believe a person like this in good faith can continue posting content, asking for people to buy their cameos, buy their bracelets, while like there's all these like at least semi-legitimate claims about them doing like all this fucked up shit in these discords with these like asshole people who are like objectively bad. Did Nova take care of his pets? I never saw any of his pets, but I would argue due to the status of his house, no. I don't think you can take care of your pets in an environment like that.
I mean, oh, okay. That actually brings me to some questions the Chin Universe had. Firstly, and chat, I'll probably put this up on my second channel because I don't want like some Nova stars to mass report my shit and get it taken down. But it'll be put up there very quickly. First question about the bicycle. I don't know if you know, but he put up a donation goal on his Cameo, where like he wanted $250 to quote unquote repair his bikes or his bike, and he reached like over 300 if I'm not mistaken. And do you know anything? Like, did he ever try and fix it? Do you even know if he like had a bike that could be fixed?
I mean, that's been another one of those things where it's like he's always about to do it. He's always about to find some way to do DoorDash. And so like, and it's like you said, because I think the only thing I saw about that was your video on it, where it's like you can buy a brand new bike for so much cheaper than that.
Yeah, for 300 you
And
can get like a decent fucking.
and also again, like, how are you gonna ask for people to donate money and receive nothing when you're not even doing the bare minimum of like completing your cameos? It's like that's not cool. Like, do you think the people who are donating are aware that you have access to all these funds? You just choose not to work for them? I would hope they don't. I would think would be an unhealthy person who would donate money to somebody who they are aware is doing nothing to, better their financial situation.
Yeah, for sure. And the second question is, let me see if I can find it actually.
You cannot effectively DoorDash with a bike in that area, I would argue. Somebody asked.
Yeah, Idaho's very open.
Especially in the winter. Like,
No. So I don't know what the
the
fuck
cat's
he's
fine,
talking
guys. Relax. He's just screaming. He just does that.
You better be quiet or else.
His name's Gloop, if you guys are curious. Gloop.
What did he do to deserve that name?
He didn't do anything.
Wow.
He became bought by me, and I get to name him what I want.
Dealt an unlucky hand? I'm kidding. So there's this clip where his like he seemingly like steps on his dog, or he either it's a bit weird. Let me see if I can find it. Have you ever heard of that? Have you seen anything about that? Or
I have not.
I have not. Okay. It's gonna take me a minute. I'm not the smartest cookie in the cookie jar. Do you think he would do something like that?
I mean, is the claim that he intentionally hurt his animal?
Yeah, like he just fucking turned around because his dog was barking, stomped, and we just like the dog went quiet and we heard like footsteps scurry off.
I do not know if he would do that. I would hope not. But
Course.
I mean, I don't. Again, it's like so much of, like, I mean, the texts make it pretty clear. So much of our relationship and like the conversations we had are like shrouded with lies, just because either shame or I don't even know. So I will say this. This is probably something and I'll also preface this with saying, like, I've been wrong about a lot of things about Nova. Probably more things than I've been right about. Like, if anything, this whole friendship just proves like how wrong I was. But I do not think Nova legitimately has the capacity to like sexually harm someone in person. Like, I don't think he could ever do anything like that again. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Okay.
I don't.
All right. So if you want to pull the stream up, worst streamer ever. Nova got fired from his. Okay. Gonna look it up here. Are we so dead serious? It's a sensitive clip, and should have been maybe a month or two ago.
I mean, what does the chat think? Do you guys think he did it on purpose, or?
I mean, it's not. I wouldn't like expect Nova to be, a bastion of animal kindness or something. Because, well, I don't know, dude. Like, you talk to minors, you do all this nasty shit. Is it like that far fetched to think that you wouldn't like hurt an animal? Am I like crazy for thinking that?
No, I'm not saying anyone's crazy for thinking that. I'm just trying to gauge what you guys think. I haven't seen the video, I don't think, so I
Here
don't
it
know.
is.
Before we begin,
All right. There you.
You think so? Really? What is? Are you talking about my flawed logic?
No, no, no.
Could you
It's
expand?
it's
If you guys are welcome to disagree with me, like I'm not going to be offended or anything.
yeah, I
but
disagree with you.
I am
actually.
curious.
Not playing. So I'm pulling it up on stream here. You'll probably see a little bit of a delay, but he basically dog's barking. He turns around his chair, stomps. No, I don't even hear the scurrying off. The barking just stops. So you'll see that in a minute. It's a scary clip, especially knowing there's a dog in that home, and I know for a fact they're definitely not. There was a squeak. I didn't hear that. Did you see it? Probably taking a minute. Let me slow it down for y'all, chat. Alright.
Aurelio, I understand your point, but I will reiterate: would the world not be better if people like Nova were healthier people?
What's up, Pooh Boy? Okay, so that's kind of... Let me turn the audio up, actually. I don't know why the fuck I turned it down. So... Did you see it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
That does not look good.
Yeah.
I don't know. That definitely doesn't look good.
No. No, not at all. So, yeah, that's the clip. It's fucked, man. That's just one of the like 1,000 reasons people really don't like fucking like him.
Yeah, I'm seeing some sentiment in the comments. Somebody said, I mean, what is he doing for society? So I think the difference in our thoughts is what determines the worth of a human. Is it inherent or is it based on what they can produce? And I think most people would agree with enough thinking, with enough examples running through their mind that the value of a human life is just set. It's always valuable. Just because somebody isn't producing or they're flawed, like it doesn't mean their soul isn't worth anything. So I guess that's the big distinction. I don't think people should be condemned permanently for mistakes, because what if Nova ends up being this like super great guy who helps a lot of people, and the only thing he needed was like a little push. Obviously, that's probably not the case, as I can see that now. But
Yeah.
the point stands. Like I don't think it's the morally right choice to just reject people like this from society. At least, not at. Well, now given the current circumstances, I think he should be separated until he can change. But at the time, while I was friends with him,
It's a tough debate. Like, people will always disagree. There's no common sentiment with that philosophy. So it's better not to dwell on
I would
it.
agree with a lot of people commenting right now. Like, no hope, refuses to do anything. Like, a lot of this is just blatantly true.
Yeah.
The future for him does not look bright. He doesn't really deserve to have a good life at this point.
I agree.
But does that mean he won't in the future?
We'll see. I mean, how much life does he really have left? He's 21 years old, not a drunkard, pardon me.
I'm gonna throw my cat outside. I'm sorry.
I hate mine. But yeah, he's 21 years old, addicted to food, addicted to TikTok, talking to minors, all this stuff. His health is literally rock bottom. He can barely move around, and when he does, or when he can, he, according to him, he can, but it hurts. So literally existing is painful to him. His legs are literally discolored from God knows what. His hair is probably permanently grease stained. His I don't even want to get into like the rest of his health. So
L
really,
gloop.
what's left with Nova? I mean, maybe he can go to the doctor. Can he afford the treatment he needs? No. So like what?
That's another that brings up to another point that I've brought up to him. From my understanding, he is not receiving any like social benefits, but I would be surprised if he was not at least in some form like entitled to something in terms of like social security or like financial benefits from the government. And I know a lot of people are gonna not like the idea of a person like Gabriel raking in money from the government, but my point is he hasn't even attempted to like start that process. So you have this person who's like been jobless for who even knows how long at this point, who like won't even do the bare minimum of like reaching out to the government where we already all are paying taxes to. Like the first thing he does is like
I'm not, but...
ask for handouts.
And yeah, he makes like no money too at 21 years old. He's entitled to money if I'm not mistaken from the government, but he just like doesn't like give enough of a fuck. I'm gonna read out some super chats here. Sorry for the ones I've missed. Thank you for the 5 cookie. I have autism, also have a full-time job, car, driver's license, HEMA fencer. That sounds difficult. Life isn't that hard, Nova. That is true. Like he has no excuse. Autism isn't an excuse. Bad childhood isn't an excuse. All that. Thank you for the 2 Dragon Lily. Look up Nova kicks his dog clip explained. I probably should have seen that earlier.
10 hour edition.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for the 6-7. Okay. XY Drake and Milk. Is Nova pregnant? When is the baby due? Yeah, do you know the answer to that?
I don't think he wants me to tell you.
Okay.
But I will say there are going to be twins being born soon in Post Falls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Who's the dad or mom? I don't even fucking know what the analogy is anymore. Who's the other parent?
It was almost like an asexual thing with one of the piles of trash. It was like spores from the trash.
Oh my goodness, dude. Maybe it's like that thing from Alien where like the face whatever thing like jumps out from the heap onto his face, kind of like implants an egg. Is that why his stomach's so big?
Yeah, okay. His pillow impregnated him.
My goodness, man. Thank you for the 5.
People are
sorry.
Oh, go for it. Sorry.
Thank you for the 5. What's the deal with Nova being involved with UTT? Man, I wish I knew. But you know, by grace of God, it's some weird YouTube trolling group. Don't worry about it. But, you know, by the grace of God, all of them will be in prison soon, or if that doesn't work out, some other fitting consequence as seen by the Lord. Sound weird as fuck saying that. My goodness. Is there anything else you haven't shown that you want to show?
I want to show. Oh wait, actually, there is something. I have that the famous Mountain Dew video.
Is it? All right, just make sure nothing personal shown.
Nah, it should be good.
Yeah, just double check. Also, chat.
It's really far away and it's dark.
Okay.
Right. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right. Also, chat. Just so you know, the video stays safe. I'm going to re-upload it on my second channel. Not grifting, but you know how Nova is. You know how his weird little friends are. I don't want to strike. I will literally like. That's the first thing I'm gonna do as soon as I like. What's it called? As soon as we finish here, I'm going to. It's gonna upload to YouTube. Then I'll download it, put it on my second channel. So it's gonna be private, but it'll literally be up in less than an hour. And I'll post about it on my community tabs. Did you find it yet?
Yeah, I posted them in the channel.
Alrighty, let me see here.
Also, throw up that picture of Gloop for the homies.
Oh, that's very beautiful. All right.
This is an AI picture of Gloop if he got third-degree burns all over his body.
Oh, Nova loves AI. All right. Video one. Jeez, that looks scary.
It's like found footage.
Found footage.
Yeah, this is so this is me giving him the only reason there's any footage of this is because my brother had never seen Nova and he's like, "Can I come with you? Just like I'll sit in the car. I just want to
Is he Idaho's
see you guys."
Bigfoot?
I don't think he really has earned that title yet. He's not elusive enough.
He's not
But yeah, that's
elusive
the
enough.
Bluetooth speaker, or I guess he's too elusive actually would be more appropriate.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the speaker, and then I
Jesus.
think in one of the next videos it's just like shoving our Mountain Dews.
He just does not. My goodness. It's literally like someone recording a cryptid from afar. Oh my goodness. All right, last video here. Nova. What is he opening up here? Some kind of
Either
box.
Mountain Dew
Mm-mm.
or the waterproof phone case or the speaker.
I see. I see. I see. All right. We got some more super chats. If you have anything else, feel free to send. We'll go ahead and look over it.
That's everything. People are bringing up diabetes and like his health, and I think it's important to also remember that, if I recall correctly, once his uncle had to get his, and I believe Nova has made this all public, so I feel fine sharing it. But
Yeah.
once his uncle had to get his leg amputated, I don't think he got out of the hospital. Like he stayed there until he died. So like, if this is the path Nova's on, like, and the wake up call is like him getting a leg removed, like it might be too late anyway at this rate.
Jeez Louise. And he was like old too. He was in his 50s or 60s, and Nova's facing all these issues at 21. It might be Nova. My goodness. Thank you for the 5 soup. Wasn't there an Omegaverse Mpreg joke about Sophia being the dad of Nova's baby? I don't know what any of that is. I don't. Sounds
Yeah, it was his uncle was diabetic.
was.
Rest
That
in
sounded
peace.
so fucking mean. Sorry. We're R.I.P. Uncle Drew. He was kind of like you in a way meaner though. But
He
trying
was
to
like
help
me.
Nova. No, in the sense that he was trying to like help Nova. He was a bit more brass, I guess you could say, but he did try and help Nova. But Nova. Thank you for the 10 pyro. Did Nova ever try to push his interest in conversations in ways he thought would sound casual? Had a creepy friend before. He thought he'd try that kind of stuff and think he was clever.
That reminds me of so yeah, one of the first times we were like talking in Discord, it was just like me and him, and he was like streaming his phone, and he was playing one of those like arcade games. And again, I'm only sharing this because it has to do with finances, and
Hey,
again,
yeah.
he's asking for money from people, so I think
Uh-huh.
it's relevant.
For sure.
But he's playing this app called, I believe it was Arcade Online. It's one of those things where you're playing a physical claw machine in some like random like some random warehouse somewhere, and like if you win the prize they like ship it to you. And he was playing for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I was like, oh, I'm out of tokens. And like I was watching the stream on my other monitor, and I watch him like the second he gets out of tokens, zero hesitation, immediately hits like the plus icon in the top right, and he adds like $80 worth of coins
Holy
to
shit.
his account. And I go, whoa, like, you said you play this game a lot, right? Like, how often are you adding coins to your account? And he said something, I don't remember the exact amount, but I do remember doing the math. And I was like, because he had only been playing the game a couple months, and I was like, okay, so if you're doing this at this rate, you've spent at least $1,000 on this app,
goodness.
probably closer to 2 or 3. And I was like, and you're constantly talking about these financial issues, like delete the fucking app. And then he didn't do it, and then like a week later he was still playing it. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Coin Game. Pretty cool game. But I ended up just buying him Coin Game on Steam in hopes that it would like motivate him to not play Chinese warehouse claw machine game.
My goodness, man. That's just, yeah, like him begging for money online too, given that is fucking so scummy.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are the odds? Like, I don't know how. What did he get the donations from for the bike? Was it on, like-
Cameo.
He got the donations on Cameo.
Yeah, it was like a goal inside the platform Cameo.
Oh, so it's like, okay, like how much of this is actually going to go towards a bike? How much of it is actually going towards like what are the odds he actually gets a bike in the next month?
Negative. What's he
And
gonna do? He
yeah,
can't even
zero,
stand
like
up for
probably
days.
zero. So then where did that money go? Like that, those are the questions like these people who are like giving him or funding him like need to ask themselves, which I mean, I think a lot of them just aren't aware just because he doesn't address any of this stuff ever.
Yeah, like he literally can't even stand for times, and when he does, he says it hurts, and we're supposed to expect he's gonna ride a bike all around town delivering food for, like, with how slow it takes, how slow a bicycle is compared to a car, he's gonna be making like 50 cents an hour or something crazy like that, just because of how long it takes and the cost and whatnot. Like, we're just not gonna. No one believes
I mean,
that.
I don't ever want to dissuade somebody from like getting like bettering themselves because I do think it would be good if he were to do that. I just don't think he will.
No, no, never, never. And one thing I did forget to ask you, very, very recently, he was like complaining on stream. I think I sent it to you about like his friend scamming him for hundreds of dollars on in gift cards.
Yeah, yeah. I know very little about that. I did address. I think I addressed him in the. I don't know. I think I messaged him about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he didn't really give me a whole lot of details. Just said like, oh, someone was pretending to be my friend. I was like buying them stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was basically the extent of what he told me.
Yeah, and the notable thing about that is, well, not just him getting scammed. It occurred on a platform or an app called Signal. If you remember those text messages about what those government officials with JD Vance and all that came out, that was on Signal.
He was in there.
He wasn't in those. He wasn't talking
He was in the
to the
signal
vice
chat with
president.
JD Vance. Oh my
No,
god.
I don't think so. No, but it's the same platform. It's like a very secure. You only go on there for certain reasons. So I'm like, why the fuck are you talking to this friend who asked you for hundreds of dollars of gift cards on Signal, a secure messaging app? What have you been asking, or like what are you doing on there? Why are you talking on Signal? Why not Discord or text to this friend? Like, does that
And
not
again,
seem
it's like I'm
sus?
his. I think it's fair to say I'm his or was his closest IRL friend. So it's like, and he told me about Hawaii. Um, once, and I didn't really even ask about it. I just said like, hey, what's up? Saw you got gifts, and he immediately was like, oh yeah, I've been talking to this guy. Let's all meet. Let's all talk. And he joins your Discord, but like now all of a sudden he has all these friends and all these other chats that just not even bringing up, which I mean, I guess it's not, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have an obligation to do that, but it's just a little odd.
Yeah, and so keeping this hidden from his closest friends, he got scammed for hundreds of dollars on Signal, on the secure messaging platform that criminals are known to use. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? And gift cards too. Gift cards specifically. He didn't send he didn't Cash App, he didn't Zelle, gift cards. Come on. Like, am I crazy for insinuating, you know what?
So that situation though does like kind of, um, when you look at it through the lens of like, okay, maybe he is just like subconsciously lying to himself because like this is a situation where Nova, he's not benefiting. Like he got fucked over. He got money stolen from him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, his actions don't make any sense. So like, is he just lying to himself in hopes that like, oh, maybe like if I trick myself into thinking this is a real friend, like it'll work out when like anybody could see. Like maybe he didn't tell me because he knew I would call it out and be like, no, this is odd. They're trolling you. Like maybe that's why he didn't tell me because he wanted to just like live in this dream he's thought up. But again,
Mm-hmm.
that's all I'm assuming a lot.
Yeah, and the Signal thing came from DMs with a troll, so he hasn't said it publicly. All he said publicly is that he's been scammed for hundreds of dollars and he couldn't make his credit card payment because of it. And speaking of, what do you like? Do you know if he's like in any debt? How much debt he's in? If he's like concerned?
I didn't even I didn't even know he had a credit card until
Hmm.
you informed me, and I did ask him about it, and he didn't really go into detail. He just said, yeah, he has a credit card. Yes, he owes money on it. He didn't paint it as it was a very dire situation, but again,
Hmm.
I don't. With who knows if that's because it isn't, or because he's embarrassed, or because he knows I'd be upset. Like, who knows?
Yeah, and
I mean, when you're a person who doesn't like to be called out for your bad behavior, and all your behavior is bad, like how it's kind of hard to parse through what's the truth and what's a lie.
yeah, he's a unreliable narrator to say the
Wouldn't be
least.
surprised if he's buying illegal shit. I do not think he would do that. I don't. He's he's painted a picture that makes it seem he's like very scared about. Well, at the same time, I don't know because so I don't know. I don't think he would buy like illegal shit online, but maybe he would.
Maybe, maybe. He also could have been talking to do some lady friend in exchange for services. They asked for gift cards as payment. A lady of the night, if you will.
He wants you to think that, man. That is 100% true, which is why I'm being
Yeah.
ambiguous, which because I really don't know.
Yeah, dude, I mean, it really is something. Is there anything else you want to show? Any videos, whatnot?
I don't think so. I think that's basically everything. Besides the stuff you might need to censor a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
Like you got
those would
oh
be.
Gloopy. You got to put Gloopy full up on the screen, of course. What the hell?
Of course, I mean, if that's what people want, I'll make sure to satisfy their desires in regards to Gloopy. And yes, chat, it'll be archived. I don't want it to be taken down, so it's going to be on my second channel. I don't really give a fuck if anything happens to it.
Again, this isn't real. I didn't harm Gloop. I just thought it'd be funny if he had
I
third
did.
degree burns, which I think it is.
I'm very sorry to hear that. R.I.P. Gloop.
R.I.P.
All
Gloop.
right.
He was a hero.
That's one. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say that. All right. Any final thoughts on Nova? Maybe a last message for him?
Yeah. So again, Nova, if you're upset about anything I've said, what I'd ask you to do is think about what did I say that was incorrect. Maybe you don't like what I said, but was anything wrong? Did I say anything wrong? Because of course you're not gonna like being called out. Of course you don't want people to know about all the bad shit you're doing. You should use that as motivation to not be bad instead of getting angry when you get exposed for all these bad things. You shouldn't villainize the people who are trying to make the world better. You know, if anything, you need to villainize your own behavior because, you know, a lot of it is worthy of being villainized. Like, and if you don't look at your behavior in the way that most of us do, like, it's just going to keep getting worse. And if, you know, if this whole scenario happening, if us not being friends, if your body deteriorating, if none of that, like your uncle dying, if none of that is painting a picture of like you're fucking up at a high rate of speed, um, I don't know what will. Get off the internet, please. Also, shout out to any Navy nukes in the chat.
I don't get that reference. Maybe I'm
They will.
uncultured. Okay. If you say so, if you say so. All right, so thank you for coming on. 3 hour mark we just hit. Wow. Certainly informative. Very funny too. Man, dude, that fucking the Nova Cord news. Man. All right. This will be like I'm going to private it, but I'm going to upload it like ASAP on my second channel. Let me go ahead and show you guys. I would really like not to get taken down. My main channel, I kind of care about it a little bit. It's at Brospeth. See, I have the Nova files on there and all that. So I'll go ahead and put the link here as well. Copy. Paste. Thank you for the 10 slip cases. I can't pronounce that. I apologize. Go ahead and if you guys want to maybe save it or whatever for later. I'll make a community post as soon as it's up, so you guys will all see it. It'll be up, like I promise, on everything I love. Or my name isn't Gabriel Gage. I greatly
Thank you all. You
appreciate.
guys are super sick. Thank you, Bloodspeth, for having me on here. It's been,
Yeah, of
I don't know if
course.
fun's the right word, but
It's been something.
It's been something.
And thank you for coming on. It certainly has been a great stream. And thank you for everyone for stopping by. Thank you for my donators. I hope you guys have a great night. Please remember to take care of yourselves, shower every day, and stay away from minors. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Thank you, Anthony. Away.